Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that is David, aka Dream Twister, and this is The Real, episode 283 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast. GG! Yes, sir. We have made it through probably one of the worst weeks of all time.
Oh my God. And you, yes. We have been thrown an EMP bomb, evidently, and all systems are failing everywhere. At work, at home, at play, at fun. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's
our week is shot.
A massive EMP blast that just eliminated all fun from the eastern seaboard, guys.
Yes.
Completely.
Yeah,
it's completely gone. Gone. No more fun, guys.
No more fun. No fun allowed.
No fun for you. As a matter of fact, we're not even going to continue this damn podcast because
we just
that
finished.
would be too much fun.
No, I need this, so you're gonna do it. That's why you're tied to that chair.
I am.
We are gonna do this podcast, or else the bunny gets it.
Oh, well, hey, let's save the bunny. Let's not.
I will shoot this bunny. I'm telling you, I'm not. All right.
Let's settle down. Settle down. Please put the.
You will watch. Put
the captain away. Thank you.
The captain
away.
Oh, God.
Mr. Santos, I'm just going to get into it because I feel like you need an outlet. So if this is your first time listening, guys, please, first, I need you to go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. Takes you right to our Facebook group. And, of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, MCU Endgame.
That's right. There's going to be spoilers. We're going to be talking about Endgame, the movie, right?
No. At this point, we can't even spoil it. I mean, I think everyone in the world has seen it. Even Aborigines who don't have access to internet or anything, they've seen the film. And you know what? Believe it or not, they think it's just fine. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It could be because
they probably saw Black Widow and now they pushed this movie back. That's
true. It could be, or it could be that they didn't see any of the ones before it, so I have no clue what the hell's going on.
Oh, there we go. Exactly. Yes,
probably has to do with that. But no, we're going to be going essentially talking about what's next for Marvel. I still feel that Endgame, Marvel's Avengers Endgame, was the pinnacle. I think that was an excellent film. Not perfect. There's some stuff that that's just some questionable decisions in the same. But then again, it's also a big movie, a huge cast. Can it really address everything? No, it probably cannot. So it is what it is. But I think to cap off the Infinity Saga, if you will, I think it was excellent. I think it was more than any fan of superheroes could have ever expected. Since then, to say it's hit and miss would be a gross understatement.
Something tells me you might have watched something here or there.
I am not at liberty to say, but okay. I will definitely say that we've all seen, you and I have seen pretty much everything has come out since. And yes, I do draw the line at Endgame. I understand that the Spider-Man movie was the last movie of that phase. Sorry, that's not how I'm calling it.
The movie ended in Endgame. One. You're leaving a good one out of the game. It's like Jimmy Lay's like, sorry, kid, but it's the end of the game. Didn't you hear? Did you get the memo?
It's yeah. I don't include that one as far as that phase. It's an okay film. I'm going to say it's a good film. It's an okay film. I enjoyed my time with it. The Spider-Man Far From Home, but it didn't feel like this is the end. Like this is where this story or phase whatever ends. Like, no, this is literally the new phase. But anyway,
which is weird because it didn't even feel like a beginning either. But now we're going into the topics.
We are. See how important and just passionate we are about this. That we almost want to just speak about it now, but that's okay. We will put a pin in it and
we will leave it for the end game.
Oh,
sorry, I cannot hold. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Sometimes the dad jokes need to be said, sir, and sometimes they just need to be said. So let's go ahead and begin with what we always begin with, and that is, of course, what we have been up to. I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy this upcoming bride, sir. What
get your popcorn. Speaking of letting it out,
please don't. Oh no. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
There were some good releases actually this week, and yeah, there was. I mean, we had Alan Wake came out this week actually.
Bought it.
Oh, last week. Or this week. Oh, you got it. Awesome. I was actually deliberating between should I get Metroid Dread because it also came out. Should I give Far Cry a try? I didn't mean to rhyme that. Or should I pre-order the Battlefield 2042? Which, let's face it, I am going to get. I've been deliberating like. I'll probably get that, or I'll probably buy some sort of hardware that will inherently have that as a bonus. And then I saw what's coming, and it's like, no, I'm probably going to end up getting this. But in any case, lots of things. No, actually, I think that was it. I didn't mention Far Cry.
Yeah, Far Cry, Metroid Dread, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So pretty good week to get busy and play some things. Unfortunately, it was also the week that Microsoft decided to unleash its worst fucking virus. By the way, this is gonna be the podcast that gets us demonetized. I don't care. A worst fucking virus that they can release upon the PC space.
Damn.
Called Windows 11. Let me tell you about Windows 11. Oh my God, do not install Windows 11 on your computer. I don't care how good it is. I don't care if it's been genuine, or I don't care if it says that it meets the requirements. I don't care. You might as well be injecting cyanide on your veins directly if that's what you want to do. And if you want to actually install Windows 11 like I did, you probably should, to avoid you of the pain that I've been having for the last few days. Sir, I have played jack shit this week. All right. I've Death Stranding, and you guys already know about Death Stranding, so I'm not going to waste my time with it. Or at least I don't have the capacity to get anything out of it right now, because this entire week, from October 4, October 4, Monday, because the official release of Windows 11 was October 5th. But October 4, they released it early, so I went ahead and installed it because I'm an idiot. Because I was warned. This was not I like warned? Technology. Well, in the YouTubes, that people will say, like, people will say their impression. It's like always, there's some people that will be like, oh, this is cool. There's some people that are the naysayers, but I decided to be, not to listen to them, because I was, I'm excited. I like technology. I'm a computer nerd. I like the stupid shit. Having a new operating system, even though it's really Windows 10 with a coat of paint, actually, and the guts ripped out and lay bare. It's still something that excites me. I do like, testing it out and see how it runs. And obviously the little marketing that Microsoft have done, surprisingly for a big release, the marketing has been small on it, but what they have shown looks cool. And hey, it's the first time that they offer an upgrade for free, because usually you had to buy Windows. So this time they adopted the model of, well, you can get the operating system for free and install it, and we're just gonna have all the spyware like monitoring everything you do, so that we can sell your data, because you are the product to us, you know.
Pretty much.
But that's fine. I mean, if I'm already in that camp, all right. So, and don't you guys think for a second that consoles are not doing the exact same thing in one way or another? It's just that with console, the only data that they get is, hey, gameplay data, stuff that is just limited to, you know, interest or a gaming interest in specific. The computers, it's like fucking everything. You know, they know what bank I have, they know what websites I visit, they know, like, you know, they get all that.
The porn sites, everything, guys.
The porn sites, a list of all the freaking porn sites.
Yeah.
So I decided to, you know, to install it, because it also say, oh, it's bringing these technologies to gaming, technologies that, of course, no game has been released that takes advantage of just yet. You know, so there's absolutely no reason to jump on it. But again, David needs to be a first adopter and, you know, to try things, because I'm a tinkerer. That's what I do. I know you will never comprehend this level. And to be honest with you, I will never explain why stuff like that. I like doing stuff like that. And the problem with tinkering is that sometimes you fuck things up. But I just, not like this, man. Not like this. Wow.
The moment you said something, I started, like, I just went and said, oh dear, what is up with Windows? So I started Googling. I was like, oh wow.
Yes.
It's not very good right now, is it?
I haven't seen a release this botched since fucking Windows Vista. And probably Windows ME. You remember Windows ME?
You realize probably there's a trend here, right? It's like the biggest releases that are botched are all Windows.
No, yeah, of course. No, I'm limiting myself to Windows, but usually the biggest releases that are botched come after the one that is usually recognized as a solid one. Windows 95 for all the trouble. Windows 98. Windows 98. For all the troubles and the things that it had, and it was considered, you know, this is a solid iteration of what Windows 95 tried to do. And then Windows Millennium Edition happened, and it was basically Windows 98 with a fresh coat of paint. It's this example. Windows XP, Windows 7 came out, and everybody thought, you know, that it's a solid one. Then came Windows 8 and it was the fucking tablet version, whatever. Then Windows 10 came out, and it was recognized as a solid, you know, operating system. Well, now we have Windows 11 Windows 11 to be the Xbox One of operating systems, basically. It's a story. It's like they get every one, they fuck up with the other one, and they get every one, and they fuck up with the other. And there's no consistency.
11.
This is Windows 11.
And also have like a bunch of issues.
It was not like, again, not like this. Let's be fair. Every operating system, especially very early on, is gonna have its bugs and thing, because remember, they are testing it when they're testing it on their hardware. It's fucking rock solid. Everything works perfect. Everything works as it should be. But on top of that, they have to account to all the myriad of legacy hardware and software people might be using still that they can't afford not to have access to. And that's good and bad. Kind of like backwards compatibility, or actually better, kind of like cross-gen games hold the potential of some games back, because Yeah, well, it needs to run on vanilla Xbox One. You know what I mean? On Xbox One
Cyberpunk
S.
says hello. Yes.
Exactly. So, this time they were saying, oh, if you want to upgrade, like this are the requirements, and the requirements were kind of strong. To be fair, it was saying you kind of need a powerful computer. Not every computer will qualify for the upgrade. It needs to be like within the last, I would say, probably 2, maybe 3 years. Those are recent machines. So I was kind of surprised on that, but I was like, okay, if it's, as long as it's built on the foundation that Windows 10 has laid out right now, because Windows 10 is not perfect, but it's decent, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with trying something out there. I would like to see, something new. Yeah, that start button looks cool now. But holy shit, bro. From the installation, from installation, I have actually installed it 3 times already. Because the first installation, I did an upgrade where suddenly it locked me out of my files. So it acted like ransomware, basically.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. You see, I almost had a moment there. In PC lingo, I would have sounded cool too. Okay.
No, sorry, I stole it. You understand what ransomware is?
I do. Yeah. And you said, I was like, oh wait, that sounds like. And you said, okay, all right.
Right. So, maldita sea, I reinstalled that. The second time trying to recover my files, I couldn't. Thank goodness that I keep backups. I run a fucking backup server, so at least I have copies of stuff. But if I hadn't, and this is why backups of the important documents and shit like that, even if it's just throwing it in a fucking Dropbox that you have, is important because computers they're not infallible. And at some point you might need to, it will break, or you might want to upgrade or reinstall it or do whatever. You can lose all that.
Oh, Lord.
And it has been an ordeal of trying to get things to work, because on top of that, Microsoft Corporation has still to this day have not figured out how the fuck to make a goddamn store like Steam does, like Epic Games. Like all them stores that you can fucking Ubisoft Connect does a better job than the Microsoft Store. May I remind you, this is the store that comes integrated into the operating system. All right? You understand what I mean by that, right? Mm-hmm. It is, it's an intrinsic part of the operating system, and it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. You try to download a game, and then it gives you the maybe, 9%, and then it says, no. And you're like, please download the game. No. Okay, let me restart the download again. Okay. All right. So I restarted the download again. This time at 12%. No, I'm tired. I don't want to do anymore. I'm like, why are you not downloading my copy, my paid copy? This is not a Game Pass game. This is my own money paid copy of Forza Horizon 4 that I still playing. By the way, that was the other game that I was playing for a little bit, maybe because I was just testing, was Forza Horizon 4.
See if it ran okay.
To see if it ran, because on top of that, it also slows your games down. But I'll leave that for later. Though the store will say, I forgot what was the fucking error. It's something ridiculous along the lines of, no, you know what? I had the fucking error. I called it, let's see, fucking nightmare. Where is it? Okay, here we go. It says, something unexpected happened. I'm like, what kind of error is that? What am I supposed to get from that? Imagine if we're usually troubleshooting for people that call us right on our work, and you get a person that asks you like, "Oh, this is not working. Can you help me with it?" It's like, well, it looks like something unexpected happened.
Was there anything else? Yeah. Was there anything else I could help with?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. That is what it does. That is exactly what something unexpected happened. Okay, what the fuck? Tell me, give me something that I could look up. Okay, finally, what I realized is that this operating system is so bugged that it was flashing the error code for like a split second. So I had to literally try to recreate the error and at the same time press
print screen.
Capture print screen so I could capture it so I could finally see. And it says error code 0x800800207. And then it has a link for find help with this. Find help for this. I'm like, okay, well, let me press the link. It'll probably take me to what that error is. No, it takes me to fucking Bing. Just look it up and look it up on the worst, the fucking worst search engine, unless you're searching for porn, in which case it's really good for some reason. But for everything else, it's garbage. Oh, search the error yourself. And of course, there's no definite answer because you go, they don't have a knowledge base, or if they have it super hidden. You can't find it. All you see is a forum post from people having similar issues, but the error could be anything. Because the error was on Windows 7, on Windows 8, the error was on Windows 10,
as you mentioned it, I Googled it and it gave me something from 2017 for the other one. So it's the same fucking code.
So it could be anything, any number of things, all describing, and then he wants you to do, like the stuff that like the solutions that he wants you to do are the exact 100,000% reason where I say, yep, I understand you, Mad Dog. This is the reason why you won't get involved in this shit. And I get it. You're not a tinkerer, and you probably have the advantage of, because you're not a tinkerer, you're not going to fuck things up. So your computer has been working so far. Every now and then you tell me something's screwy, and we go in, we check it, and we clean it or whatever.
My dumbass who didn't update a driver of some sort. If you would just update the driver, you'd be just fine. Of course, I'm like, but why doesn't it do it automatically? My PlayStation does it automatically.
Exactly. It should be. It's planned obsolescence, bro. It's I don't know what the fuck it is with this one, but then and yes, and by the way, it also runs your games slower, because apparently there's a bug if you have an AMD processor, which I don't know, it happens to be the most popular fucking processor already. Right now for gaming, the Ryzen processors, they're the ones that are selling like hotcakes. And it has a fucking bug that does not allow it.
Windows 11 is hurting performance of AMD CPUs. And of course, if you think this is good, if you think it might be affected by this issue, there really isn't much you can do except for wait for Microsoft and AMD to release some sort of software update to address
it. Exactly. And
you can't go back, right? Can you go back to 10 or?
When I upgraded, it does give me the option to go back. I've never liked using those options because, like, I don't know, I feel like it's just going to leave some junk on the system. And I usually, at that point, I just reinstalled. So I said, you know what? This is probably an upgrade. It's probably grabbing a lot or hauling a lot of the legacy old files from Windows 10. Let me just do a clean install. And maybe, this little quirks go away. The little quirks turn out into fucking nightmares. At one point, my computer refused to boot completely, refused to boot. I'm like, se jodió. Did I just fucked up my computer and now I'm not going to be able to buy parts for it because whatever breaks, because it's going to be next to impossible to gain. Like it did not want to load. Like I turn it on and it'll be completely blank screen. Nothing happening. I'm like, at that point, I was like praying like, oh, please God, let it not be. I know that I've cursed, I have cursed up and down.
How quickly we change.
Completely yeah, of course. At that point, it's like, you're putting awesome. My computer in danger. I'm thinking it's just gonna.
Yeah, I promise not to curse ever again.
No, I knew I couldn't do that. I knew that because the moment that I fixed it and I was thankful and I was happy again, I would immediately go into like, but this motherfucker, it refuses to
just say.
It just awesome. Just like,
I mean, not awesome, but you know what I mean. It's
no. So it's just been a myriad of problems, one after another, cascading. Blue screen. Except that, of course, we're gonna change. Blue screen is so played out, so we're gonna play it. It's gonna be a black screen now because I don't fucking know.
We rather you think it's off.
It's yeah, exactly. It's just something unexpected happened. Goodbye. Wow. Black screen with a sad face. Like that is supposed to make me feel better somehow. It's like, no, man, get the fuck out of here. Like this is still a beta product, and I am one of the dumbasses that decided to sign up for the beta and test it, and now I'm paying the price. I'm once we're done with the podcast, I'm deliberating like I probably go and reinstall Windows 10 back. Like fuck this shit, wipe the hard drive again, and just reinstall Windows 10 because it's not worth it. The lost hours that I have. I probably shouldn't be saying this. I left work early. All right. Cause if I didn't, we will not have a podcast tonight. And tomorrow I don't have time to do it. I know Sunday I won't have time to do it. So it was either that or no fucking podcast. The signal stops because of Windows 11.
So I have to ask. This is not me in any way, because I think the main difference here, like what I'm trying to say is like I do joke that no, I don't like with the computers having to figure out what's going on because it's just an annoyance. I am one of those. I just need it to work. I don't need a reason. I don't need an error code. I don't need any of these things. I just need it to work. You're
not going to be tinkering and fucking
correct.
around.
I don't want to be tinkering. I don't have to be look up error codes online. I don't have to figure out stuff. No, that's not what I'm paying for this for. I need it to just work.
Yeah.
However, this is, as you mentioned, this is a beta. And as such,
it's a full release. Actually,
it's a full release. Okay, so
it came out this week. It's just I'm calling it a beta because it feels like it's missing so many features. Also, that it's like, oh, come on, guys.
But as with anything, when you are an early adopter, you run the risk of these things occurring.
100%.
So I guess that in there lies my question. I know it's frustrating because I understand the frustration. Believe me, but the fact that you're an early adopter, does that not sort of set you up to say this is probably going to be shit? I should probably expect this to be, all hell on earth.
It does. It's just it's the not wanting to see the reality, right? It's the new thing, and newer is better. And I like the look of it. It looks cool. Like the way it shows on the little marketing that they have done after it. It looks like, okay, there's some annoyances that Windows 10 have that this seems like it's going to address, like the fact that now there's finally a fucking app for games, to download from Game Pass. I mean, or the games that you own. It's not like, oh, here's the Microsoft store and your shit is somewhere there. Figure it out. And Game Pass games are there, but you look for them because we're not going to highlight them for you because we really don't want you playing them, We want you to be paying for the service, but not really finding them, which is the important part, the finding of those games. We don't want that. So, it now has has a neat app that kind of puts those things together. The problem is that the app it's running. It's basically a Microsoft store in disguise. It's running. It's like there's the Microsoft store, and then there's the Xbox app, and you open the Xbox app, and you're like, this smells and looks familiar. Okay, but I can see all the games that I have purchased or downloaded if they were free on one easy spot to find. Mm-hmm. Okay, so at least I can download them from here, right? Click. No! I don't want to download right now. It's like, fucking download. You're a computer. You're supposed to do what your master tells you. That's what you do. That's the contract. You're on. I fucking get to use you. No, it doesn't. It picks it up. No, something unexpected happened. Just figure it out. Goodbye. Here's a black screen. And oh, by the way, your computer won't be able to boot now. It's going to give you the scare of the decade.
I'm sorry.
I can't, bro. I can't. And because of that, I've missed on so many good, release. I mean, not miss. I can always play them back when I have a normal system again. But I miss the excitement of the week because of this shit. I probably won't be able to play the beta. Which is okay. I don't need. I'm not.
It's a beta. It's not the real thing anyway. So yeah.
It's Battlefield those betas are usually broken anyway because that's the whole point of the beta. No, seriously, because the whole point of the beta is as the servers is not.
Remember, you and I did the
Hardline. Don't talk about Hardline. Hardline does not exist. We never talk about Hardline.
I remember that.
No,
you don't want to talk about it, but I remember that shit.
It never happened.
I wish I can agree.
That's what EA wants you to think.
For sure.
Every time they show all the Battlefields that they have done, they're always amid Hardline.
Yeah, I bet you Hardline's not even on their store.
I bet you, yeah. It's probably for the better if it isn't.
Yeah,
if it isn't. But whatever. At least they have a functioning store. You can download games and install them and play. Did I tell you that if you uninstall a game on a Microsoft Store game from your computer, sometimes it just decides to leave junk and garbage that could be gigabytes of computer space just like there, and you cannot delete them unless you start like sleuthing into like file permissions and Linux knowledge. You have to be at that point. Like, why bother? Like Steam is the de facto, like the way to. If the blueprint is there, you don't need to reinvent the wheel with all this nonsense. Like, why are your folders named weird? Why are your folders not named like normal fucking names? And instead you have to, like, Microsoft Flight Simulator will be called like, Eagle 329572XYZ. Well, fucking call it Microsoft Flight Simulator. Don't call it any other shit. Like, why? Is it for you? Is it because you think that pirates are not going to be able to figure out? Pirates. I'm done.
All right.
I can't anymore, bro.
Okay, fair enough.
This is the reason that Xbox One fucked up so badly, and this new one it's not doing so much better. It's doing a little better, but still, for every good step that you make, Microsoft Game Pass, you have to take 30 steps back Windows 11. Anyway, that's it.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Fuck you, Microsoft, for wasting my time. I should sue your pants, but I don't have
I know.
Time is money. I eventually agreed to the EULA that said, "Oh, this program is gonna infect your computer, it's gonna destroy it, and fuck you, give us money."
Damn. Well, sir, thank you for that rant, and I am so sorry that you had to go through it. Although one may say it was self-inflicted, but that's
I know. I will say that. That's the thing when you're early adopter. That's the kind of garbage bullshit that you need to be prepared for, because it could be that it could be something that is just like an annoyance, or it could be something that it could literally destroy. Like, dude, right now I'm looking at a file. I'm looking at this file. It's called the Mouthful Rating System. It's a picture. The picture that we posted.
Yeah.
I can't open it because for some reason he put a lock in it. Hey, Mad Dog, I didn't put that lock in it.
Is it asking for a password? And you're like, I didn't put a password. Why are you asking me?
It says, when I try to open it, it says, it appears you don't have permission to view this file. Check the permissions and try again. And you know what I do? I go into the permissions section, which I learned to do, and I assign it to myself, and I give myself rights to the file. And you know what it does? To my own picture that yeah, exactly. And it still says the same thing. The fucking padlock won't open.
Wow. Because
of that, I can't see the Mouthful Rating System anymore. That's what I did with all the other files, and I was able to recoup all the other ones. And evidently, I forgot this one. No, this one's lost. That's what it is. Someone hated our rating system so bad that they decided to
That's all it was. That's all it was. This was an attempt to stop the signal, if you will.
Yes, exactly.
And it didn't work.
Exactly. All my dodgy memes are gone. Also, they're all having padlocked. Damn. But it's not. They're not even asking me for a ransom. So at this point, it's just basic cruelty.
I know.
Not even asking me for a ransom.
Oh damn!
They're just sending me the pieces of my computer, the former computer that I had.
What they're doing is, you know how they say, "I'm going to kill the person and chop them up and mail all the pieces to different parts of the world."
Yes,
so they're doing with the computer right now.
They're doing. Yes, exactly.
Right now, someone in Tokyo has that picture. You can see it, and they're like, "What is this?
What the fuck is this?
Mouthful crap."
And then they get affected. Everybody gets affected.
Oh god,
this shit won't happen with Sony.
This, yeah, all right. You're right. It would probably be a shit ton worse. Anyway, so I really haven't played much. I did finish Kena, excuse me, Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, did. Talk to me.
It is, so how do I say this?
Every time this qualifier, it kind of worries me. It's like, well, how can I put this diplomatically?
And sorry, wrong movie. Yeah, so it is a valiant first attempt. I give Ember Labs or Ember Lab an A for effort. This is their first game. They've done little commercials and stuff like that. They're very good at doing computer generated graphics and stuff like that. Clearly they're excellent at it, because this game still remains absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Where they need help is a little bit in level design and a lot more in controlling, or what is it? Control programming for control. So first off, this game, this is another thing that I think I should have expressed more, but the more I got into the game is when I realized, ooh, this is a problem. It is deceptively hard. And I mean deceptively hard, to the point where I am furious hard.
Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, really?
And I'm just like, why is this effing game so damn hard? You know? And I'm like,
what?
It's how do I say this? The reason I say deceptive is look at the game. If you look at this game, you see the box. They don't have box because they're not. It's a digital game. But if you were to, or if your family were like, or there's you have parents and they have their kids and whatever, and they're scrolling. Oh, let's get them a new game. Oh, this one came out. Oh, it's only $40. This is a great. But that kid is going to scream because this game is ridiculously hard at points. And the problem is there's spikes. That's the issue.
Oh,
spikes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, It's just unreal. And then what doesn't help is some poor controller setup. And can I express to you how many times I try to? So you get a bow and arrow at one point, and you get this ability to do a slow motion aim and shoot as long as you're jumping. But what? But here's the issue. The issue is I end up doing another move, which is jumping in the air and then slamming to the ground. And it happens so often that it's just frustrating because I'm trying to set up the shot and it's just not working. And I know what it's doing because what happens is, so when you have certain movesets, right? If you're just standard moving forward, you have one hit movesets. If you're sprinting, then you have a new moveset. Well, in a boss fight, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be sprinting because you want to make sure you have distance between you and whoever. Well, when I sprint and then jump and try to do the bow and arrow setup, because I was sprinting and I hit the button to aim, now I'm doing the slam because I was sprinting.
Oh.
Now, if I was just doing it regularly, you see what I'm saying? If I'm just moving regularly and I jump and now I go into the pose of whatever. And that is the most infuriating thing, okay? It's just, and I don't want to take away from, like I said, it is an admirable first game. And
right.
Here's what I would love to see. I would love to see a full length animated feature from these guys because the story in this game is actually very good. The story and the look of it is excellent. But again, where they falter is the actual programming of said game. And again, it's not horrible because if it was horrible, you would have heard this by now, but it is hard at some points. I mean, there are certain bosses I literally was on my 10th, 11th try just trying to defeat it. And I'm like, this is Dark Souls level stuff. But the difference with Dark Souls is I know when I fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I know when the problem is me. Here, I'm not the problem. The problem most of the time is the game. And sometimes it's not responsive. It's not as responsive as let's say a Dark Souls, something like that, when it comes to moving.
On Dark Souls, you already know if you're committing to a move.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
And dodge. There is a dodge, but I can't tell you how many times I'm in dodge motion and still getting hit. I'm like, is that supposed to be a thing? The parry it's
realistic,
very hit and miss. I guess that is true. You are right. That is very realistic. But the whole deal is it says you need to dodge. So I'm dodging, motherfucker. So you don't need to dodge. So what you're saying is I just need to be nowhere near it. Is what I'm hearing. Fine. The parry.
Before you talk about the parry, does it feel like they trying to cram a lot of movement mechanics into it?
I mean, not a lot. There really isn't a big move set. It's just the way it is. The way it
seems like they synergize super well.
Correct, exactly. It's like you should know that when I jump. Well, that's the thing. It's like it doesn't know what you're trying to do. Right. It can only go with the move set, and I feel like they made a move set that crossed over each other, and because again, there's no stamina, so I'm like, if there's no fucking stamina, I'm fucking running left and right. Mm-hmm. There is a shield gauge, and it's this little like spiritual sphere that surrounds her that has a gauge, and if it's hit too many times, it can be broke. So that's cool. That's, I'm like, that's fine. I knew that. And that's the same thing you would use for parrying. You just have to hit the shield at the correct moment, just like any other fucking parrying thing. That thing is very hit and miss. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not sure. I'm like, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm not claiming the best gamer and like that, but I'm like, if I do it 10 times out of 10 and I'm hitting twice and it's the same enemy, because I'm not attacking. I'm just, how I will sit and just say, okay, I'm going to figure out this move. So I'm going to sit here for the next 20, 30 minutes just trying to survive by doing this one move. Same thing I did with Batman and Batman Forever, Batman and Robin back in the day, which was, and that's when I realized then, there was no figuring that shit out because that shit was fucking broken. So, so here it's not broken, and I don't want to say it's broken. I don't want to make it sound that way, but it is definitely a little bit on the incomplete side. And then there are there's a little bit of platforming, and 3D platforming is very difficult. So you have a double jump, right? Mm-hmm. Well, and here's another design where I'm like, I've fallen so many times and it's just annoying because when you go to jump, right, and you do the second jump, you figure you already have some sort of inertia moving on in that direction. The second jump should continue said inertia. It does not. You actually have a small, now it just leaps upwards instead of outward, and I can run towards the edge and leap, and it will still do this one thing, and it never fails that I occasionally will miss something. And now again, not Dark Souls, so not like you losing a bunch of shit if you die, but you still die. You know what I'm saying? And it's still annoying. And so anyway, I feel like I'm bashing it at this point, but those are the things that were infuriating. So I'm gonna tell you why it was so infuriating. No. I actually said fuck it on one of the end bosses and said, I'm fucking, because I wanted to finish the game. At this point, I was playing this game for way too long because I had committed. Yeah, I had a PTO in between, so it really extended how long I was playing this game. And I just wanted to get over with. And so I said, fuck it. I was on normal, by the way. And I dropped it to the next one now, which is called story mode, believe it or not.
So this is what they think. Like, oh, if you just want to enjoy the story, you don't care much about the gameplay, like use this.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. It's. I mean, you are much like the hits don't hit you as hard, and so there's not much danger there. But everything else is the same. Everything else is still the same. So you're like, son of a bitch. They don't even know what story mode means. I'm just like, what the hell? So I ended up finishing the game. I want to say it was the last fifth of the game, and I was like, I just want to get it over. I just want to
get the story. At this point.
Because at this point, I'm more curious as to what's going on than I am with the gameplay at this point. Also, believe it or not, something that also infuriates me, and I think it's evident of a young studio, and by young I mean, young in the industry, not that they're young, and that is some aspects of level design. It looks sometimes I can leap on something, right? It was like, okay, well that's high enough, I can or low enough, I can just jump on that, but it wasn't designed for me to jump on it. So I jump, and she's still stuck in that jump animation and stuck in there, and then little by little kind of slides off of it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, that is very PlayStation
2. So it does have its, but overall it seems like it's a good effort in a very decent game. I saw the reviews right after you mentioned you were playing, and I saw you playing for a little bit actually.
One of the videos?
Well, the videos that you were sending me, like when we were talking, you were showing me the video. So I was curious about it, and I went to Skill Up, actually, a site, YouTube channel, because it's the first thing that came up. And I was thinking like, oh man, I don't know if this is like, it's style normally, but then again, I don't know much about it. It was just the first thing that presented. And he was speaking very highly of it. I'm like, okay, all right. It's like certainly not a perfect game or anything like that, but just like you said, for a studio, I mean, even for a freaking big studio, this would have been considered still a very decent game just because of the visuals and the
I would have been less forgiving on the control. I mean, if this again, this is their first game period, right? Everything else they've done is, not interactive. It's just something that plays.
It's kind of amazing, yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool to see that they've stepped into a new thing, and I don't want to take away from it. Ultimately, my score is 3.5 for the record. That's the score I'm giving it.
There we go.
And so that's really good on our chart. And
I wouldn't know because mine has a padlock, so I can't see it anymore. I can't reference it.
I sent it to you on Facebook, sir. Stop.
So
you can see.
Appreciate it. Bad dog to the rescue, as always.
And so the story is really cool. I really enjoy the spiritual aspect of the story. Essentially, there are these spirits who, for whatever reason, have not moved on to the other side, and they become evil. They become they basically haunt the area and infect the area. And there's this whole big story behind it. And to be fair, the last boss fight was actually kind of fun. Again, I was on story mode, so I wouldn't know if on normal I'd have just been kicking the controller around. But overall, it was well done, and I definitely give them props. And I guess honestly, it became more of, I don't know. I feel concerned about the game overall because I don't know who it's for, because it feels like it's meant for a more hardcore, fast-paced combat type of a player. But when you look at the game, you think you're going to be playing Spyro or something else, and you're really not. You're about to go into some Dark Souls light here a little bit. You know what I mean? And you don't know it because it looks so fucking inviting. And so that's what I was expecting. I think that's kind of what hurts it, is the expectation, right? The expectation is okay, and that's why I wanted to play it. I was like, I want something light right now, and instead I got something I just left from. And I'm like, and I guess it frustrated me. Probably more than I would normally be frustrated, and it's because I think my expectation was not with what I got, but what I did get was really good. Had I known this was going to be into, then I'd probably been like more in a better mindset to approach this game. But it is what it is, right? I mean, that's what they presented, and overall a really good package. I can still recommend. It's gorgeous, regardless. It's a fucking
nice,
it
definitely is
for sure. And I haven't played anything else. I was really kind of waiting. I was gonna play Alan Wake, but I didn't have any time at any point.
I was kind of hoping to hear about.
I want to be able to really put a good amount of time into it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do like a 2-hour thing. Like no. I want or an hour and a half, because I probably wouldn't even be able to fit that much in. And so that's why I did jump into real quick, and I'm not even going to spend PGA Tour, which is one of the free games for PlayStation Plus this month. Because I like golf games and all that stuff.
You do like the golf game.
Is a bit much. I miss my Tiger Woods. This one here is really, really technical. And I'm just like, damn. And then it crashed on me, and I said, "Oh, okay."
Okay.
I was like, all right, that kind of that settles that. Uninstall and moving on. It didn't take very long for me to.
The game did your favorite. That was me. I realized that you were doing.
You saw me on that. You're like, oh hell no.
Hell no.
He's not gonna play Alan Wake. He sure as ain't gonna fucking play this fucking game.
No, I was maybe thinking like he already has an annoying sport event that he likes. I don't need to get grabbing another one. Fuck that.
Sir, I know you're going to be resistant of it, and I understand. I don't blame you at all. I know how it is, but we are going to go to at least a driving range. Just you and I, or we can bring the missuses, or not. We just chill out at a driving range. I assure you. It is way more fun than it looks. Watching it is like watching grass grow. I will agree. No one wants to fucking sit and watch golf, but playing it is just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, moving on. That's all I played. I did watch a buttload of shit, so I'm gonna just kind of go through a lot of it all at once. First and foremost, and you can actually chime in on here. I did watch the remaining What Ifs.
All of them.
7, 8, 9. Yep, I saw all the rest of them.
That's all of them. Yeah, you caught up. All right.
I told you I would. I mean, if we're going to have Marvel as a hot topic, you know, I was thinking all the pieces together, right?
Yeah, I was thinking, okay, so he probably watched it. If he wants to talk about this, if he has something to say about Marvel, he probably watched it. So, okay, good. How do you like that Thor episode?
The Thor episode was hilarious, bro. I laughed more than I thought I was going to laugh.
Oh,
but
I thought it was worse than. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I would never watch it again. It's just it was dumb as dumb can get, basically.
It was very. I mean, coming about after not directly after, but after watching the zombie episode, which I thought I was kind of like the most ridiculous one. Or it was the most ridiculous one. But then he shows me, he shows this one where Thor is like a fucking stupid doofus the whole time. It's like, okay.
I would argue that he is a stupid doofus. He was like that already.
Not the level that they were showing here, but of course.
Endgame, sir. Did you forget Fat Thor?
Yeah,
he's a stupid doofus, bro. That's what I'm trying to say.
They made him into that, but you remember the first Thor, he wasn't that.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Another one.
I think. Listen. I think what made him a doofus was. Okay, we went too far with dark elves, so let's go ahead and lift this guy up a little bit, you know. Let's have a Ragnarok on here.
Yeah, the dark elves, I would definitely say was a darker one, obviously, but he still had his ridiculous dumb moments, you know, like when he has his dumb moments. He actually goes into the British metro because he's riding. He's riding along. He can't fly because he doesn't have his hammer. You know, his hammer's lost in a universe.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's no different than the other heroes' silly moments, which you know that Marvel moment of we can't take things too seriously because you know we can't trust ourselves to be that way. So let's just break it with some silliness here, and you know that's what ended up happening. But I saw Thor as that character, those characters, except. Thor 2 was terrible, and then Thor Ragnarok it's almost like he tried to rescue his character by just making the entire thing kind of like over the top and ridiculous, and it worked because you know I thought it was a good movie.
And here I think it to a much lesser extent, but it's still fairly work, and it also credit to What If. They got the majority. I mean, that's Chris Hemsworth voicing that shit. It's a Natalie Portman voicing.
A lot of those, those actors were reprising their roles with few exceptions. It's like, and you could tell the few exceptions, like
they stand out. Yeah, you can tell that's definitely a.
You didn't even try. He had his voice.
He was trying, but not very good.
Yeah.
So anyway, that one was. Oh, I guess that was okay. The next one, What If Ultron won? I knew immediately. So when I read the titles, I know he loves it. He fucking loves the second one. He loves it.
Hold on. But you skipped one. Oh, sorry. Because you watched the zombie one. But then the very next one, was one that I particularly enjoyed because it broke with a lot of the
Killmonger. What if Killmonger
there you go. Yeah. It broke out with the you know, the typical rule of heroes and how they, you know, end up winning at the end and happily ever after and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was definitely interesting. The Doctor Strange one, even though like I wouldn't put it as one of my favorites. Like I thought that was. It's funny.
I kind of want to watch it again because I feel like that one has so much.
It's powerful.
On. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Powerful.
It's a much more powerful.
It's a powerful
one. Someone lost in the
to
madness
believe.
of something. Yeah.
And I told you, the music at the end of that was fantastic. It was so good. I do want to watch that one again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what did you think about the Killmonger one?
I thought it was good. I kind of saw where some of the things were going. I was like, okay, well, if we eliminate this from the puzzle, then this is where it would go, right? It makes perfect sense. A lot of things that are missing, and it's like, well, yeah, he doesn't become that what do you call it, Iron Man. So I was like, okay, right. And the fact that spoilers here, by the way, I'm just gonna speak openly about this shit anyway. So
okay, so we're talking opening about this one. Then if you guys haven't watched it, I will suggest skipping this entire section onto the next one, because this is a series that is definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I agree. So he ends up killing Tony Stark. And I love everyone who I love the way it just the mystery behind it. Like, they were trying to piece stuff together, and Killmonger is, or at least in that, by the way, also voiced by Michael B. Jordan. Yes. And I love how manipulative he was in it, just like he was in the film, but he was a little bit more rough and rugged in the film, as opposed to here, where he was much more just cool, manipulative. Still can kill someone he needs to kill someone, but much.
He could be charismatic. He could be a very charismatic character in this one, and the way they played a lot more into his military background knowledge and stuff like that. So yeah.
So I liked it. Not one of my favorites.
It also doesn't have
not the worst one for sure.
No. It also, I always say that it has a thing that you like, because it doesn't, it does have an end, but I'm going to say it didn't, but only because I like the way that things were left. But because you're almost thinking like, okay, so what's gonna happen now? At the moment where you think it's like, okay, so this is the climax, right? It looks like there's no hope. And no, that's where it ends. And it's like, oh shit. Yes. So they went for it.
Yeah, I remember that. And I at the time I was like, oh, okay. So they don't need to go any further, because the reality is, well, you know what's going to happen from here. We don't have to show it to you. We're just showing you all the events that are leading up to it.
Exactly.
Until we get to Thor, if Thor was an only child. And again, I didn't realize this until the end of Thor's Only Child, because now you have a portal out of nowhere, and here comes what I thought was regular Ultron. I thought it was just, I was like, wait, those look like Ultron robots. But then the thing opened, I was like, wait, that's Vision. I don't get it. Okay, well, and that was like, and then it ended, and I'm like, okay. When I saw that, I was like, okay. Please don't tell me what I think you're going to do here. And then when we get to What If Ultron 1, that's when shit hit the fan. I'm going, oh, so these are not one-off episodes.
Oh,
and I was like,
these are different universes.
Yeah, but this is the multiverse Avengers.
The multiverse.
And I was like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I felt a little bit let down, because I was like, I wanted the one-offs. I wanted it to be full on whatever. Because now it became, and this is partially what led to the hot topic. And it was like, oh, of course they have to unite everything. Why else would you do this? The What If Ultron one was pretty cool. It's weird seeing Barton with a mechanical arm. But I was like, oh, okay.
That was strange.
And overall, overall I did like it. Seeing the guy, what's his name? The Hydra agent, I can't remember his name, but the one with the glasses. He's a machine and all that. And I was like,
oh my god, okay. What is his name?
Olaf is coming to name, but I don't think it's Olaf. It's
no, he called that. Yeah, he has the last name is the part. It's what they refer him to.
Armin Zola.
Zola. There you go. Yes,
that's the one.
Yeah, it was cool to. Yeah, it was definitely cool to see.
Yeah. And it was a sad one, and it starts off when he's like, this is a very sad. This is one that I'm very sad about, and all that. The Watcher, and I guess I should have figured that out because little by little, you always saw the Watcher just as a silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
And little by little, as the episodes passed, you started seeing him more full color and all that. I was like, so he's almost getting closer to the timeline, you know, as I was taking it. And so I guess it made sense. And I never actually looked at the rest of the episodes, and the names have been out since the beginning. And so I was like, oh, if I had known that the last one, what if the Watcher broke his oath, that would have spoiled it for me to go, okay, I see where we're going with this.
Yeah, no, that, yes. Seeing the name of the episode would have definitely, spoiled it because
for sure.
It's basically what every episode so far has been named exactly what the episode is about.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I did enjoy a lot that section where, you know, he's always narrating, right? But then suddenly, like, Ultron kind of breaks that his fourth wall, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, nice. But it was funny because that did happen with Strange in the Doctor Strange one, because he was able to
That's
yeah,
true.
So it wasn't unheard of at that point. But when he started talking and he said, "Huh," and I was like, "Ooh, he can hear you. Stop talking, motherfucker. Stop talking." and he didn't, obviously. And it led to all that. That was pretty cool. Good to see, you know, the Watcher himself get into the action a little bit. And I was just like, oh, so this guy's got a little, you know, he's got a little power behind him. You know what I mean?
I mean, you would think so.
I mean, one would assume, but since he doesn't fucking interfere, you know, I just figured he's just standing there watching.
And still, Infinity Stones can actually do some damage if he's not careful.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting twist. And then of course you get to the end and Watcher broke his oath, which is now he's putting together the team from the prior episodes. Now, the only one I have to question is, where was Gamora? I don't recall seeing her in any of the prior episodes.
She did. No, this was her premiere,
right? Okay.
Actually. And I could have sworn, I always thought, like, every time there will be a new episode, I was thought, okay, this is the one that has Gamora. This is the one that will have Gamora, because obviously they showed they show her
at the beginning. Yeah.
At the beginning, but they never did. And it wasn't until I saw, you know, this last episode that I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is her appearance, but this isn't about her, is it?
No.
You know,
it was cool hearing Ultron's voice too, because I almost forgot that Ultron was he's voiced by a specific actor, but that's not who's voicing him here. An actor from the Blacklist. I can't think of his name. It doesn't matter. The point is, he had a very distinctive voice, and I'm actually not a fan of the actor.
He was very smug.
Yeah.
The way
he did have some interesting one-lines in this last one where I was like, "Yep, that's exactly what the actor would say." You know, I was like, "Yep, that's whoever is doing this, you're nailing him." Let me tell you, you're nailing him. And then of course, you know, the way it ended, you know, it's like and that's the first thing I thought of too. Is like, Armanzola is not gonna fucking just let himself get whatever. He's gonna fucking take the stones and do whatever he wants. And then Killmonger does it. And I'm like, oh, I guess he will too, you know? And then before he knows, and then you have the actual ending. You go, oh, so they need to remain in stasis, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, okay. That makes sense.
And fucking Doctor Strange is going to be sitting for eternity, you know, making sure that nobody
he has a desire to do that too, because if they make free, who's the first person they're going to try to fuck? He's right there. He's already tried to take them on. So he knows the power that's behind it. So, you know, it's not like, it's one of those things like, you're here for eternity anyway, bro. Do you mind watching this? You already know if for whatever reason you feel like letting them out, you know what you're about to face. So, you know, so yeah, it was enjoyable for sure. I can definitely say, the series. I was a little disappointed in the fact that it became all connected.
Yeah, I really felt the same way too.
Yeah, I really felt like it should have just stood on its own. Very cool to see Captain Carter back. That's my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Very cool to see.
Is that your favorite episode?
Oh, for sure. to date. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had to scroll through them, let me see. I would say I'm not going to order them or anything like that, but
I thought, oh my God, Star Lord.
if T'Challa became Star Lord,
T'Challa became Star Lord. Like I thought that episode was sweet, was touching, was awesome.
I loved it. So what I loved about Captain Carter is probably a little bit more just personal to me, and that was a part of me thought, well, he's no longer Captain America. So, and she is for this one, or Captain Britain, or whatever the fuck, Captain Carter. So she doesn't have, it was absolutely touching and absolutely amazing to me that it didn't matter. Her and Steve still shared something. Steve was this scrawny little kid, basically, and she was now bigger. She was bigger than him before Captain Carter, and now she's even bigger. Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, but it didn't matter. She still saw something in him, and I thought that was just absolutely touching. You know what I mean? And it's like that was so amazing that still held true in that series. And then I loved how they presented Captain Carter, which she was fucking badass, bro. And I'm just like, she is kicking some serious ass. And I'm always a fan of fucking Captain America, and she's basically doing the same thing but a woman and just being absolutely badass at it. I'm like, I'm in. I did like the T'Challa one. What if World Lost Its Mightiest Heroes was kind of cool. Doctor Strange.
That was really good too. Yeah.
Yeah. Doctor Strange one, I do have to give it up to. It's not my favorite, but it may be my third favorite. Second or third favorite. It's really, really fascinating.
I'm not sure if it's on my top 3, but it is. It was a special episode. It was a little. I don't want to call it uncomfortable. It's not like it's uncomfortable watch. It's more like, oh shit, this is probably like the worst outcome.
It's a dark one. Yeah. And it doesn't get better, right? We get to the end.
Nope.
The last one is like, no, he's still locked there. You know what I mean? So he's still doomed to do whatever. But yeah, so that one definitely holds a good spot. What if Zombies Suck? I'm not even going to talk about that one. Killmonger was kind of cool. I did enjoy that.
I did like that one. That was probably somewhere on my top 3, Killmonger? Probably the Killmonger one. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Thor one was silly. I'm not even going to rank that one. What if Ultron 1 was cool because I got to see more about the Watcher.
That one was cool. Yes.
I got to give it up to the last one. You have these random people coming together and working together, and having to deal with a Thor that just doesn't fucking shut up.
Yeah.
Overall,
I didn't care for that much.
Yeah. That was kind of, but I still hold the first one really because I was just, and it could be the first one. I was like, I wasn't sure what to expect with the series, and what I got was way better than I expected, and then to see it, all play out with
it never delivered after that.
No, I'd say it did. You know, what I mean, I'm not going to say it took a downturn.
It was just downhill from here.
Pretty much. So anyway, real quick, I've seen a few movies. I just want to kind of fly through some of these. The Beautiful Fantastic is a cool British comedy drama. Very cool. It's about a young woman who is very OCD, and suddenly she has a home.
That's always fun.
And she has this home, and she has to fix the garden up, and there's this neighbor who's a pain in the ass, and this neighbor, the actor who plays the neighbor is this old British guy. But anyway, it's a very touching film in the end, very funny, very enjoyable. Your typical British romantic comedy, maybe. There's not really a lot of romance in it, so just your typical dramatic comedy. It's called The Beautiful Fantastic, and it is on Prime, I want to say. It's definitely available on one of the stuff, and it was kind of cool and definitely enjoyable, so I won't stick too long on it. The next one I saw was my choice, and this was called They Shall Not Grow Old, and this is actually a documentary about World War One. And if you've seen the trailer, and I invite you to take a look at it now, sir, just to kind of pop it up, They Shall Not Grow Old, if your computer can can do it for you. And what it is,
let's not bring touchy subjects. We're talking about the World War One. All right.
All right, fair enough. So what they do in this particular thing, it's completely narrated by people who were in World War One, who yes are already passed away for the record. But these were firsthand accounts that were collected, and so the film they completely restore this 1914 to 1918 films that were very fast, very black and white. You're right, because they always played at a weird speed where everybody was moving faster than normal. But they completely slow it down, completely restore it, and completely put it in color. And now you're watching World War One in full high def. You're like,
shit, wow.
How the fuck did they do this? This is some. And by the way, this is Peter Jackson. If you know Peter Jackson from,
wow,
director. So I don't know how they did it, and it was weird because at first I saw the trailer, and it takes about 20-25 minutes to really get into it because I was setting up how they got into it. Again, it's completely narrated by soldiers who were in it. So all British folk. You really need to turn on the subtitles because they do have some of them have some really tight accents. But at some point we're looking at it's 25 minutes in, and this is still in that small little box, black and white. And I'm like, okay, I thought that we were doing, and then I realized, oh, we're not in the war yet. And then once we get to the war, like once they're making their first steps to war, it literally zooms in and pans out and goes into color, and it's just, and the sound, because I have the surround sound, the sound is like, I'm like, oh wow. Shit. You know what I mean? Now I'm in it. And it's something serious. It is something serious to see how just horrible. I mean, we know that we don't know personally the horrors of war, right, but we know about the horrors of war through a lot of things we've seen. World War II was horrible, mostly because of the fact that you have, I mean, the war itself, but also, the genocide that was happening with the Jews. World War I was just horrible because it was horrible. Trench warfare was horrible. People, they had to put planks so you can walk across stuff. And if you fell off this plank and fell into this huge ditch of mud, they couldn't help you. It was a moment they were saying, we saw someone fall and there was nothing we could do. If anybody go out there, you're stuck with them. And that mud isn't just mud. It's mud with bodies and water and blood. That's what that whole sludge is. Wow. And I'm like, can you imagine sinking to your death in that? Wow. I'm like, that is, dude, that freaking gave me a shiver as I was watching. I was like, holy fuck,
just hearing it doesn't make it any lighter.
Yeah. So anyway, They Shall Not Grow Old documentary. It's on Prime. I got it on sale for like $1.99 or something like that for rental. Way worth it, whatever it is, if you're into that type of stuff. But and I am. Later on in my life, I've become much more into documentaries and stuff. But anyway, really cool. Amazing job.
We'll watch that trailer in the midst.
Yeah, for sure. Then I watched The Replacements, which is just this was more of a desired watch. I mean, it's Keanu Reeves, and believe it or not, it is a comedy, a very not spoof. That's a little bit much, but it is a comedy, and it's loosely based on the 1987 NFL strike that happened, and it happened towards the end of the season. But the owners are like, fuck that, we're gonna get a bunch of replacements to come in. I've seen this movie a bajillion times, and Keanu Reeves plays this college quarterback who never actually made it anywhere after college, and he's one of the replacement players. Gene Hackman is the coach. There's a bunch of people in it that you probably recognize by face, and it's pretty silly, but it's based on the Washington. They obviously can't use the real names of the NFL, so they call them here the Washington Sentinels, even though they were the Redskins back then. Okay. And so anyway,
and there's also the NFL. And FLL, which one would it be? NFL is the real one.
They never even mentioned it.
They never even mentioned it at all. All right.
Left it out, yeah. So that's my only thing that I hate about. Like, I love football movies, but the best football movies are either college or high school. because you can use the real names. There's no big deal. You know what I mean? Or, it doesn't cost as much. You want to use an NFL real name or whatever, or the league, you are paying out. You forget it. It's not even worth the price tag to make the film. No. You know what I mean? And so that's why two of my favorites, which is this one, which is probably more of a comedy, and Any Given Sunday, which is an Oliver Stone film with Jamie Foxx and Al Pacino, they're supposed to be the NFL, but they don't use any of it. So they're called the Sharks, or I think the Knights. I can't remember what it was. It's some pretty sure that doesn't even exist. You're like the Miami Sharks, I think, Miami Dolphins. Get it? So it's like it completely loses realism. Yeah. And that's my only frustration with it, but whatever. But The Replacements is very funny. I love it. It's exciting, even though I already know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I get excited with it. And it's football season. I said, fuck it. I want to watch this shit again. Anyway, the last thing I'll watch, and I can wrap it up after this, although I would be on this for a little bit, is a little title called Black Widow.
You saw
yes,
Black Widow.
I saw Holy Black shit. Widow.
Yeah,
on Disney Plus, and it's no longer $29.99. It's just there. You can just watch it.
Oh, it's just there. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what I'm. Well, let's see how this goes.
Pending review. So
the spoiler-free review. So you guys are. You guys can listen.
I guess I'll keep it spoiler free. That's fine.
Oh, come on. I haven't watched it. You can't spoil it for me.
That's true. So this is
thank God I said something.
Otherwise, because I was going to blurt the shit out. Yep. Well, you already put the spoiler tag back in there. I was like, well, we're free to go.
No, so I'm removing the spoiler tag. This is a spoiler free zone.
Fair enough,
SPF, if you will.
I'll keep it completely spoiler free. However, you could get this from the trailer.
Right.
So this is obviously about Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. If you've seen any of this, all the way up to Endgame, well, she didn't make it past Endgame. So clearly this is a prequel, you know what I mean? So, please tell me you knew that, for the love of Christ. You did know that, right?
The what? The Endgame?
That this is a prequel. This is
real, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
This is,
dear Lord.
Unless she was in the Matrix or something.
Yeah. So overall, this had a very good setup. A very interesting setup. Something I was just like, okay.
Really?
I didn't realize this is where we were going. It also has some really dark tones where I was like, ooh, didn't realize
it didn't look like that from the trailer.
Yeah. Well, again, intro. This is a setup. The first 30 minutes is more or less your setup. And then from there, it really gets Marvel tropey at that point. And by the end, it's pretty stupid. So I was just like, my wife didn't like it. She really didn't like it. I just say it was. I'm not even gonna say it was okay. Like, I would not watch it again. I have no desire to watch it.
No desire to watch. Yeah. Wow.
It is. You've seen the characters from the trailer. I'm trying to stick to what you've seen in the trailer.
No, I've seen. The characters from. There's some random dude there that is playing the same character that he plays on all the movies. Let me see what else. There's the sister or whatever is it that.
Okay, good. So you know about the sister. So the sister also, obviously, she can tell from the trailer that she's kind of a little bit of badass herself. She's played by Florence Pugh, which is that
was needed.
She has. Yeah, she's basically Black Widow 2.0. She's played by Florence Pugh, and she's been in other movies which are actually pretty good. She's actually a very good actress, and honestly, I think she does okay here. She does. I'm gonna say I really take away from any actor or actress that did anything. I just feel that there are. First off, I don't know who this movie's for, because this feels like old Marvel. In the sense that, this is, you can almost see what's going to happen before it comes happening, and it has a lot of the tropes that you're used to, and so at some point you're like, I'm not impressed by any of this anymore because I've seen this before and it was done better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You say, Marvel, it kind of gives me hope because I don't like new Marvel, which is the typical Disney formula. So it feels like it starts like all Marvel, but
it starts like all Marvel, and then
it transforms into
Disney Marvel. Regular Marvel. Yeah. And so I do feel that I think what they were going for was a Black Widow version or Black Widow's version of
Ant-Man. No,
Winter Story. No, Winter Soldier. Yeah, I feel like that's what they were going for, but they don't nail it, and they don't nail it. One, because you can see the lines. You can just go, "Oh, I see the lines. I see what you're going for." I'm like, that's not original. It's one thing to say we're going to make Black Widow's version, her own version of Winter Soldier, and do something different and with it. And then another thing, go Black Widow's version, but we're going to keep a lot of the same beats. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, it worked for Winter Soldier because it wasn't done before Winter Soldier. Now it has been done. You have to do something different. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, and that's all I'm going to say. I didn't like it. Not even a little bit. The fact that she wanted $100 million, I would have spat in her face. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not, she got paid $20 million for this film. And I think they overpaid. Okay. Wow. Yeah. And not because she's bad at it. Although, not for nothing, there's nothing you can do. You cannot turn back the hands of time. Nothing you can do about it. But where by looking at her going, yes, this is not where it's supposed to fit in within the timeline. Which, by the way, good luck. You just saw the entire thing recently, so maybe you'll immediately pick up as to where it is. We have to look it up. We had paused it like somewhere 10, 15 minutes. So I was like, wait. I need to know where the fuck this stands within the thing. And then we found it. Okay. And then when I remember that movie, the movie that it fits in between, I go, yeah, it's a little bit weathered now. I mean, it is what it is. You can't hide age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And then, and
apparently you couldn't, but they didn't because you no, they with CG.
They could have, I guess, but no, they did not. And I don't know, dude. I just feel like this feels, and this is gonna sound really harsh, and I don't mean it to be harsh. I just say that it's just as important to the universe as Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Captain Marvel.
Wow.
It's insane. It's like, what was the point of this? What did we get out of this? What did we need to get out of this? You know what I mean? I understand what they were trying to go, and I won't say obviously because it's gonna spoil everything, but I understand what they were going for, but that's not what I got out of it. I got out of it 2 hours that I'm never gonna get back because I was like, it was, yeah.
I don't want to be harsh on it, but
there's some good. So all right, so let me get some good. There's some good fighting, choreograph, not shot well, unfortunately, but choreograph. I can definitely see some good stuff. Special effects are. I
wonder what Disney. You mean when it always fascinates when you can find those details. Like, well, this wasn't shot well. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, was there something blocking the camera on a particular shot, or
no, shot well in the sense that I hate shaky cam. Okay, I hate shaky cam. Shaky cam. I get the purpose of it, but if we're in an entire fight scene and it's throughout shaky cam and I can't tell what's going on, then how am I going to be impressed? I don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? Not that that's what happens here. I'm just saying there is moments where it's a little shaky. It's edited to the point where I can't tell where things are. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of when you think of John Wick and you think of those fight scenes, you know where everyone is and what they're doing because they choreograph the shit out of all that. They make sure they rehearse. They're rehearsing 10 or 11 times before they go, all right, now we're going to go for take 1 and go. You know what I mean? And they probably won't get it till take 10. So by that point, they've already done the same thing 20 times, So when you get it, you have this authentic, realistic just gritty feel to it, and they don't need to hide shit behind, because that's what shaky cam is. Shaky cam really should be to, like, in explosions or stuff like that, or really big moments. It's to emphasize, hey, there's a lot going on in this moment, and there's maybe rumbling, all that. But the use of shaky cam in fighting is usually meant to hide people who can't fucking fight. You know what I mean? They can't fight very well. That's why you see it so much in Taken. The reason why John Wick is so great is, yes, he's in his 50s, but he's doing all his fucking stunts. He's not some actor who doesn't know how to fight. He can fucking fight. John Wick, Keanu Reeves
can throw.
Yeah, he's basically a semi martial artist at this point. Yeah. And so that's really what I'm saying. And so what I'm saying about the fighting is the fighting looks good and it feels like you're hitting hard and stuff like that. But when it's shot not really well, when you really can't tell, how the they had a blade over here, now it's over here, and it's like, whoa, what just happened? I have to rewind just to see. That's what I mean. It's not shot well. When it's shot well, you know what happened the first time you saw it. And so anyway, I really can't say much more without spoiling it, so I'm just going to leave it there. But I was very disappointed. I still don't know what. If you think back to the lawsuit,
point?
What's the point of the film? I don't understand what the point of the film was, other than to, again, won't say what it is. I almost spilled it there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I feel like whatever the point was already addressed in the main story, in the main series of films. And because of that, then this just feels like a waste. It's just like additional, and then you didn't do it right, so now it's just a waste. To me, again.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and one podcast I listen to a lot, I won't say name here, but and I trust a lot of them. I gotta say, I was shocked that they all liked it. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? I was like, no. But hey,
Premio Canada. You can't like everything.
I know. Damn it. He tends to, especially when it comes to Marvel and stuff like that. He's usually,
fanboy a lot.
Yeah. He does fanboy out on that. They do call it out, but overall, I feel like they were much higher on it than I was, because there was some topics that were interesting, but because they didn't nail the landing on any of it, it's like, well, then it was still wasted. Why was the point of bringing it up then? You know what I mean? Why introduce such a fascinating element to your story, but we don't get more from that,
face plant for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just left with, what's the point, Yeah. So I will say one thing, and this may actually make you want to watch the film a little more, is that the trailer doesn't spoil anything. Not at all. Nothing at all. Seriously. The trailer does not spoil anything. So there you go. You know what I mean? You're going to come out of that and go, oh, well, hey, it's can't believe that, I didn't see any of that coming, because that's the truth. The trailer does not spoil anything. And I think that is a credit to it, to the film. To be fair, I've only watched one trailer, so there is that. So who knows about the other? But the main trailer, the main overall, is pretty good. But anyway, that's all I've been doing. And we're back, guys, and it is now time for our trailer of the week. Ooh, trailer of the week.
You gotta keep up with me. Trailer of the week. If you elongate it, then we're just gonna make this podcast a lot longer. So
I thought I was nailing it, but I guess not. That's fine. Okay. Trailer of the week, guys. Little title called Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City.
What? They're making another one?
Unfortunately.
What do you mean? unfortunately. I thought those movies were cult classics.
Were they? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually like the first one, the very first one with Mila Jovovich. The first one. From there, it is a quick drop in quality, and it never comes back. Although they spread it across another 5-6 sequels, it's like, dear Lord.
They were trying to Fast and Furious it.
They were trying, but
I guess so.
Failing miserably. Although, I mean, I guess at some point one has to say, if they weren't making money, they would have stopped, right? You know what I mean? They would have just said, we're not going to do this anymore. So they had to be making something. So let's just let you know how low the budget was.
Oh, you want to talk about low budget? And I got news for you. Yeah. Did you check this trailer out?
I did, sir. And to say I'm underwhelmed would be an overstatement or an understatement. I don't even know.
It's a little rough, especially you could tell I know nothing about Hollywood, so forgive me if I commit a faux pas, but none of them actors are not even B-listers from what I could tell. It was just a bunch of, it was either new faces or people that you only tend to see in comedies, even maybe.
I saw one guy, which I have seen before. He was, what's the, let me think of that. Neil, something Neil.
Yo le gozamos. No.
No. Let me bring up this stupid freaking
cast. You don't even want to watch.
I don't even want to give them props.
So
Kaya, who knows? Kaya Scodelario?
Su casa lo conocen.
Claire Redfield, and then Chris Redfield, played by Robbie Amell. Neil McDonough is the only person I recognize.
Sounds like fighting characters.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, the reason I didn't particularly love the trailer, but we still needed to make it a trailer of the week because of course it is very heavily gaming related. I mean, it is one of the biggest franchise in gaming, right? Mm-hmm. Resident Evil, and it seems to be a reboot that I have the feeling that it's time to bring it a little bit more closer to what the Resident Evil games was, especially 1 and 2. But in doing so, they're making it a very obvious game movie.
Yeah.
Of the types that are kind of low budgety and kind of like what
Netflix joining it.
Is it?
I think so. Damn, I thought it was Netflix.
What's that guy? The German director that used to make a lot of video game movies that were all terrible.
Uwe
exactly. That's what it looks like to me.
It does look Uwe like.
It looks very.
He did Far Cry. I remember that shit. That was just
Far Cry. Yeah. Wow. Did you watch that?
I started watching it. I wanted to see it because I wasn't sure if that was the one or there was another one. Anthony Bourdain has a small thing. One of his shows, he ended up going to Montreal and meeting Uwe Boll. And yeah, it was the weirdest thing. And then he ended up this small, an extra. He was he was supposed to be in a lab coat and he gets shot up and all that. And so that's what I wanted to see. And I couldn't make it through the movie. So I don't even know if he's in that shit. So it was I couldn't even make it through. It is bad. I mean, it's very bad. It's just, there's movies that are mediocre. Mediocre, you can almost be like, oh, all right, well, there was some attempt here. You know what I mean?
I was entertained.
Yeah, there were some entertaining moments. But no, these were just bad. Uwe Boll movies are bad. They're just bad. Yeah, they're just terrible. Not good. They're horribly written. Mm-hmm. They're you can have good actors in it, but it doesn't matter because the writing is disgusting.
Yeah.
And yes, that's the description I'm going to give. The writing is disgusting. You're disgusted by what is being said on screen. That's not an easy feat, my friend.
Yeah, I heard that he would do movies just to take advantage of some German tax loop that will allow that it will grant them money to create like whatever. So it will just like spew out anything, any property. It doesn't matter, the In the Name of the King was based on on some other game. I don't even remember. Anyway, why are we talking about Uwe Boll? Well, basically because this looks like another one of those, even though he's not the director and we're not attributed to him, but might as well. It doesn't look promising for the Resident Evil franchise.
Oh, that's what I was looking up. I wanted to see where, because I thought that was a Netflix joint. Resident.
It has Sony Pictures, Sony Pictures logo somewhere.
It did.
Maybe you have like a
movie. What is it called? Afterlife? No. The fuck is it called?
Which one?
2021. That's what that. I'm trying to find the. No, I don't want to see the trailer again. Thank you. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Who cares?
Well, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it a trailer just
who
because.
Gives a shit? Yeah, well, we have to talk about it as you mentioned, but it is clearly no bueno. No. And so I hope it comes to Netflix. That's about the only way I'd see it. And I'd
morbid curiosity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm already paying for this service. Let's take advantage of it. All right. Well, that's our trade of the week. Avoid at all costs. Moving on into our useless news that you can use. We're gonna go ahead and start with the Twitch leak.
Oh shit! That was a big one. Yes.
Yeah. Twitch has confirmed that the enormous leak of data that took place earlier last week is genuine. The streaming website posted a message to its official Twitter account acknowledging that the site was indeed hacked and was currently currently investigating the consequences of this. We can confirm a breach has taken place. The message read, our teams are working with urgency to understand the extent. We will update the community as soon as additional information is available. There was an update here. Let me see. Updates, which has said there's no indication that login details were exposed. So that's a good thing. That's an update there. An anonymous hacker claimed to have leaked the entirety of Twitch earlier.
Yeah, they're going to find out how much we make then.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
It's going to be embarrassing.
They're going to be
It's going to be embarrassing.
It's going to be so shocked. Including its source code and user payout information. The user posted 125 gigabyte torrent link to 4chan stating that the leak was intended to, quote, foster more disruption and competition in the online video game space because their community is a disgusting, toxic cesspool.
Ooh, so that was in retaliation then.
Yeah, it seems like
that. I mean, this is a hacker from, we can't say it's from 4chan, but he posted on 4chan, which is Toxicity US. Toxicity.
No.
Toxicity. It's Toxic City.
It's toxicity incarnate is what 4chan is.
Oh,
good job.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Never go to 4chan unless you want to see the unspeakable and the unmentionables.
Yeah.
The pure horrible of the internet.
Yeah. The horror. VGC previously verified that the files mentioned on 4chan are publicly available to download as described by the anonymous hacker. A leak Twitch data reportedly includes the entire of, as I mentioned, Twitch source code, how it's the creator payouts for 2019, proprietary SDKs, and internal AWS services used by Twitch and more. It's been claimed that the torrent also includes encrypted passwords and recommending users enable two-factor authentication to be safe, sir. Well, that's already been handled for the record. If you have a Twitch account, it is recommended that you do turn on two-factor authentication, which ensures that your password is not compromised.
Yes.
So crazy.
This one's ugly because some of those the famous streamers I didn't like you always knew that they were making money, they were banking a lot. You don't really like, I couldn't imagine to what extent. Some of them are reaching close to 1 million. Mm-hmm. It also shows that pretty much almost a majority are male, and the female comprise like 3% of the top people that get paid on Twitch. The just this, and this is not counting the money that they still get from like donations.
Yeah,
that that their subscribers will pitch in every now and then. Mm-hmm. So they'll be asking like, oh yeah, if you want to donate here, but there's making $500,000, six figures. Like, it's crazy. It is insane.
That is insane.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Yeah. Luckily, the GG numbers has still remained private, and nothing has been disclosed.
Nothing has been disclosed.
Thank goodness.
No one is the wiser that we are basically rolling in it.
That's right. That's right.
Thank God.
Thank God for Battlefield 2042's next gen upgrades, because they will be free with standard digital editions.
Oh.
EA has announced that players who purchase the standard edition of Battlefield 2042 will be able to upgrade from PS4 or Xbox One to next gen PS5 or Xbox Series X and S versions free of charge. This is a U-turn on EA's previous stance, which required players to own the more expensive gold edition to be entitled to the upgrade. The standard edition of Battlefield 2042 on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X now includes EA's dual entitlement feature, meaning it comes with both generations of the game. So far, EA has only announced this feature for the digital version of Battlefield 2042, and so, at least currently, it appears that physical copies of the game will not include the dual entitlement new upgrade. Prior to this change, dual entitlement was only available for those who purchased the gold edition of Battlefield 2042, which retails for $99 or 89 pounds for our English listeners. All three of you. The change makes it significantly cheaper for PS4 and Xbox One to upgrade should they move over to PS5 or Xbox Series X. So very un EA move there, because I would have straight up thought that they were going to charge full price for the upgrade. Then again, I don't remember if they did the same with Battlefield. I want to say Battlefield 4 was Battlefield 4 the one that was. I could be wrong.
4, I had that one. I don't think so.
No, that was not. That never. Why would I want to think that? Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited. I know the beta is gonna be running this weekend. I haven't pre-ordered or anything like that, but I'm gonna see if I can get a code so I can play this weekend. I feel like my computer will be up to speed and up to snuff to be able to get me into the beta and enjoy it before it ends. I got a good feeling about it.
Yeah,
I'll say.
Okay. All right. My next piece, guys. You may have heard this. After several rumors.
Stop me if you heard it.
Rockstar Games has confirmed that Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas are getting HD remasters.
Ooh, day 0.
Really? Okay. They'll be releasing
I'm gonna play all 3 games again.
I know. I hear you. These are the ones that really did me in, for the record. They'll be released in a package called Grand Theft Auto: The Trilogy. What the hell? Grand Theft Auto: The Trilogy - The Definitive Edition What the fuck is that? Come on, guys.
It's not that. Is Grand Theft Auto, the Definitive Edition, minus whatever.
It could be. The collection is coming to PC via the Rockstar Games launcher, PlayStation, Xbox, and more surprisingly, the Nintendo Switch. It also will come to iOS and Android in the first half of 2022. Pricing and release date info hasn't been shared. The company hasn't explicitly mentioned what kind of technical improvements it made, nor has it shared any footage yet. But it says that each of the games has gotten, quote, across the board upgrades, including graphical improvement and modern gameplay enhancements, end quote. The company chose to take the faithful route for its remasters, leaving the, quote, the classic look and feel of the originals, who were presented on the PlayStation 2. I mean, pending price, you know what I mean? If it's a pending price, because I never played San Andreas, and I did play Vice City, and I did play the first one. The first one really isn't that long. Or I should say Grand Theft Auto 3 is not really that long. I remember, if you just beeline the story, it's not long at all. You can probably finish that pretty quickly.
Vice City, that is every fucking one of them.
I know, but I'm saying there wasn't too much. It's not like you can get lost in all the shit that you can do outside of that. There really wasn't a lot of side stuff is what I'm saying. Vice City, on the other hand, that's when shit really got longer.
Yeah, because you can play pool and you can but wait. San Andreas is, I always want to say, Vice City is my favorite. Because let's face it, it is. The thing with Vice City was that it was a very good tone and a very good story. The San Andreas, though, it was a thing on its own because it was like two Vice Cities, but like that early 90s gangster rap, gangster thing that I can always relate to 100%, right? Yeah.
Sounds just like something you would like. Yeah.
Yeah. That was, it just captures it so perfectly that even if you're not like a big, like a hardcore GTA player, I still argue that you will have a good time just being in that world and just enjoying the sceneries. And of course, it's also going to depend, like, what's the extent of bringing it to, quote unquote, the next gen. Because those graphics don't hold up right now, and if you don't do much on them, then I don't know, it might be one of those things where it's going to feel like playing the remake. I mean, even the remake of Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 was great, and you played it, you beat it, but you were kind of done with it also. Yeah. You were kind of like...
I was like, this
feels old.
It does feel old, yeah. And these, are even older.
That's even older, exactly.
So, yeah.
PS2.
I don't, yeah.
PS2.
All right, sir.
It's my turn.
Next one's yours, yeah.
Yes. Poor one for Randy Pitchford, ladies and gentlemen. Gearbox Randy Pitchford steps down as Gearbox Software president, but he remains Gearbox Entertainment CEO. So that's funny because that sounds like he's just gonna be I guess the head magician at Gearbox. Hasn't he always been? He's gonna be the CEO, the entertainment CEO. Anyway, no more peacock parties. Gearbox Software has announced that former Chief Technology Officer Steve Jones will now serve as the new president of Gearbox Software following the leadership shuffle. Gearbox Entertainment co-founder Randy Pitchford will serve as the CEO and president of Gearbox parent company and shift his focus towards film and TV as the president of the newly formed Gearbox Studios. Oh, dear Lord. Was that confusing? Well, buckle up. Basically, the video game development wing of Gearbox, responsible for games like Borderlands, will now be run by Jones. Meanwhile, Gearbox parent company, Gearbox Entertainment, which was acquired by the Embracer Group. They embraced it, I guess, earlier this year, will still be overseen by Pitchfork. Furthermore, Pitchfork will serve as president of a new division called Gearbox Studios, which will oversee the company's film and TV projects, starting with the upcoming Borderlands live-action movie. I need to see that one, though. I need to see what that one ends up looking like. That was already a trailer of the week without even, all right? In a tweet, Pitchfork further explained that he will be responsible for high-level creative and business strategies, end quote, while also serving as hybrid chief creative officer where necessary. Meanwhile, Pitchfork will still offer guidance on various creative projects in Gearbox. And then, of course, John was going to overtake the Gearbox game division because I don't want to read anymore. Anyway, what does that mean for Gearbox? Who knows? It sounds like you could just go for the better because
I was going to say, I was like, when you're already kind of down there somewhere, you can really only go up, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? They got themselves to the sleaziness, and I'm sorry, fucking Randy Pitchfork is a sleazy guy. He knows it even. This is not new. With delivering obvious failures like Alien Colonial Marines and fucking Duke Nukem Forever, those were terrible. Those they just grabbed that and shit it out whatever they have there, you know. And they were horrible games, you know, especially Alien Colonial Marines. My God, that thing was terrible. On the flip side, I really fucking love Borderlands 2 and 3. And I'm looking at that trailer for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and saying like, yep, there's all the reason in the world why I should hate this, but I don't. This looks awesome. I need to play this because I really I like the Borderlands games. They're well made, especially 2 and 3. They were well for what they are, what they're trying to accomplish. I think they do a fantastic job. So it's like, you obviously can, Gearbox. You can deliver good games, you know. They just don't need to just be Borderlands or Borderlands related.
Yeah. It just feels like that's all they have.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have it's not like they're lacking IPs. I mean, they have, for crying out loud, they could have made something special with Duke Nukem Forever had they actually taken the time, or just pay for the IP. Don't reuse what was there. Just start a new game and fuck it, release it in 2021. You know, if it would have taken you that long, but it was awesome. Or it was something like with the humor of Borderlands and maybe even in that engine. Like, who cares? Like, you could have made that something special, but no. You know, you kind of just got in complete code and just try to cover the holes, the apparent holes in it, and just make it vulgar and ridiculous, and you basically kill that character. Same thing with Homeworld. Homeworld was a respectable, and I might say still is, a respectable, was an RTS, right? Yeah, it was like a 3D RTS game. And it was awesome to hear that they were making a new game on it. The new game came and went, and it was kind of like meh, you know. Like it wasn't a bad game, but there was no love behind it, no marketing, no nothing on it. Yeah. So it kind of came and went, and
that's kind of their stick at this point. So
it's like, give me money so I can continue making Borderlands, and whatever else is just to fulfill some contract.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. My last piece, guys, a little little company is going to mainly focus on PC, and that's Capcom. What?
Oh,
as reported by
shit.
VGC, Sugimoto was speaking. Sugimoto, for the record, is the COO Haruhiro Sugimoto. Was speaking to Nikkei and shared that the success of its PC software has been driving global sales, and that he thinks PC will be the next big thing after smartphone. For the record, PC has been around for forever. But anyway, PC is
just
driving.
Realized, though.
Yeah, they just woke up to it. PC is driving global sales. Sugimoto said, and we have recently stated that we will make the PC our main platform. At this year's Tokyo Game Show, we focused on exhibiting the PC version of Monster Hunter Rise, and I think people will be able to experience the change in our approach. The pandemic is changing the way people look at PCs. Smartphones are convenient, but their screens are small, and their touch panels are difficult to operate, so they are not suitable for home working or school classes. I think PCs will be the next big thing after smartphones. End quote. He also revealed that the shift in focus
1974.
Yeah, exactly. He also revealed that the shift of focus towards PC is in response to the increase in digital sales of legacy titles such as Resident Evil 7, which, quote, still sells over 1 million copies a year. For now, Sugimoto says game consoles are still the leading platform, but in a couple of years, he wants to see more balance. We will expand our business for dedicated game consoles, which has been the mainstream up to now, but PC will be the mainstream in the future. Next year or the year after that, we want to equalize the ratio of sales to PCs and dedicated consoles. So yeah, man. Capcom is stepped into the new millennium. Finally. I don't know.
They finally got their Windows 95 on and they realized like, oh, PC games. You can play games on PC.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes. No, man, this all sound this, first of all, for obvious reason that, that excites me, but, I have to give it to them. They are responsible for some of the best ports of their console games into PC. I'm talking about like, rock solid consistent with all the PC options, runs very well. They do know their stuff. I had early access to watch a video of Monster Hunter Rise on PC, which is, I think they had announced already that they were gonna do that. And I was thinking, Monster Hunter Rise was the Monster Hunter that came out on Switch. That it kind of like flew under our radars because even though a lot of us do like Monster Hunter games, but that one being limited on the Switch, it was like, oh, okay, then it's got to be the Switch, and it's probably going to have the limitations on the Switch. But no, it ended up being, limited a little bit on
visuals,
on graphical and visuals, maybe, but like world and combat and movement ended up being like fantastic, according to all the reviews. I know because I was considering actually getting at some point early enough when it was announced, or when it was released rather. So looking at this footage, I'm like, oh hell yeah, this actually looks pretty good. It doesn't look as gorgeous as World as far as the graphics in World are. You could tell that they were made because of the of the consoles and the PCs that could run it. But this one, they still look very, very good. And knowing Capcom, that they tend to do really good ports, I'm actually now looking forward to the release of that whenever is it that comes out. I want to say it's probably in January next year. Yeah. I want to try that out because it looks amazing. So yeah, I'm happy to see that Capcom is I mean, let's be real. This is they're not saying that they are just committing to making PC games, so that makes no sense.
Yeah, because they're going to look for the widest market no matter what. Yeah,
exactly. And when you consider that the consoles can run PC code now, you don't have to like stretch a lot of things to make it, to make it compatible. It makes sense for them to focus on that as their main thing, because then they can just, they can fork it into the PS5 versions and the Xbox Series whatever versions. So that's good news. That's good news. That sounds good to me. You know what else sounds good to me? A rumored remaking of Metal Gear Solid 3.
What?
Yes, but that's not all. That's not the piece of news. We kind of figured, this was gonna happen. I mean, it was kind of like in the cards, No. The exciting part about it is that they are working on a AAA level remake. And that, my friend, is very interesting. The game is set to feature AAA quality art production and 4K graphics. An employee from Virtuos, the studio rumored to be remaking Metal Gear Solid 3, has confirmed that the developer is working on an unannounced AAA action-adventure game remake. As spotted by Twitter user Faisan Shaikh and reported by VGC, Virtuos leader programmer, I'm going to mispronounce this, Xinjiang Li, references a AAA remake in his LinkedIn profile, stating that he's been working on the project since 2018. As part of, as per the description of Lee's role at the studio, it seems that the remake will include, quote, 4K support on certain platforms, unquote, as well as, quote, AAA quality art production and set piece destruction. Oh, so it's gonna have destructive pieces now. While it isn't clear, the game that Lee is referring to, reports surfaced earlier this month suggesting that Konami is planning remasters of the original Metal Gear Solid games for new consoles, as well as a potential full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, rumored to be in the works from Virtuos. As for Virtuos itself, the studio is no stranger to working on AAA games. Previously, the developer worked on the Nintendo Switch port of Dark Souls Remastered and has additionally contributed to a number of other high-profile titles, including Uncharted 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Outer World, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So they're not only virtuous, but they are also versatile.
For sure.
While Konami is yet to announce any official news of a Metal Gear remake, outsourced or otherwise, last month the studio did revisit one of its beloved IPs with the release of Castlevania Advanced Collection. You guys already know that came out. Anyway. So yeah, a full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 that could possibly be in the works. Sounds
interesting. Yeah,
sounds very exciting.
Funny. Within the, I guess, not counting the NES Metal Gears, that, or maybe even counting the Snake Eater would be the earliest one in the timeline, wouldn't it?
That would actually be.
That was before,
right.
Yeah.
Which one was? Because 5. Yeah, it wouldn't be 5.
No. See, 5 would be the one that's shortly after. Snake Eater, right?
Or before, shortly after. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because he wasn't Big Boss yet. He becomes Big Boss at the end of.
I guess you're right. It does sound.
So that makes sense, right? You're going to start with because it's weird. You picked the 3. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, well, if it's the earliest one in the timeline, then Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it says it'll be I guess starting with Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, because that takes place in a fictional 1964.
There you go.
And then followed by Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. This takes place in 1974. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, 1975. Metal Gear Solid, oh yeah, I'm going to list them all now because I have them. Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, 1984. Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear on Nintendo, 1995. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, 1999. Metal Gear Solid, 2005.
Yeah, that's the one.
As Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, 2007 to 2009. Holy shit. The tanker, what was it? The tanker incident happened in 2007? I didn't remember.
I don't recall that happening.
Followed by Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns on the Patriots. I would call it the biggest gaming hole that you have in your collection, because my God, this is a game that you needed to play. Where were you when Metal Gear Solid 4 was released? And finalizing with Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which was 2018.
Wow.
Revengeance.
So yeah, I think that's a perfect one to start on. It's also one of my favorites.
Yes.
It's probably my favorite Metal Gear.
Yeah, if you're gonna reboot it, just make that Metal Gear.
yeah, exactly. Start from there, work your way up. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome episode here. Segment. Stay tuned. We still have the hot topic. It. Oh my God! Yeah, I'm like, wait, I'm saying this wrong. Why is this coming out bad? Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Hot topic.
And we are back, and it is now time for the hot topic of the week.
Hot topic. Hot topic. There you go. It's been a long day.
Yeah, it sure has been. You guys have no idea.
Yeah, it felt like a week. Let's say this one day.
Our hot topic, guys, is again MCU's Endgame, and not the movie, because that was actually the Avengers Endgame. Really more of what is...
alert, there will be talk about the Endgame movie. There you go.
Oh, I mean, yeah. It should come as no surprise that we're going to be speaking very openly about at least everything leading up to, and I don't really think we're going to go back that far anyway, but just really up to Endgame, maybe a little bit into the Spider-Man Far From Home, since that's technically the end of Phase 3. And then really go into Phase 4 and just kind of see, really kind of judge based on what we know is happening. Mm-hmm. Are we going to hit that pinnacle again? Because I feel like, and I think you can agree, not that Endgame is a perfect film, because it's not. It has its issues, but there's just no denying that last 30 minutes as just being something every kid wanted. Every kid, every adult who felt like a kid watching it, seeing this guy, Captain America, holding Mjolnir and yelling Avengers Assemble, and then they just run. I'm just like,
it has been like 10 years in the making.
You know what I mean? It brings me to tears a little bit.
Yeah, the expectation was there. It has been built. This is what it built up to become. So yeah, I can say I don't know if we will get another Marvel movie like Endgame. I don't know if that's the plan for them, to try to make one like that, because they will have like the story. It's like they use their main role, the main cast, as I will call it, has already been exposed, right? We already know, like, what other major Marvel character that is not X-Men, because I feel like that's how you reboot this whole thing, starting to mix and match and doing crazy things with the X-Men universe. But out of it, you already had the Iron Man movie, you already had the Thor movie, you already have Captain America, you have those Ant-Man, you had those core components of the Avengers. So, and I don't think they would or should be another Avengers movie.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to call it the Avengers, but again, the Avengers have been going on forever in the comics, and it's not always the same people within it.
That's
the Avengers
true,
is just a unit that come together as needed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so yeah, it could be a whole different crew or have some of the remnants.
Is
from
it
the
though?
prior.
On the comics, does it tend to be like an entire different crew? Almost?
Not an entire different crew, but you have people coming out. Like Wolverine was part of the Avengers at one point. You know what I mean? And you have people just kind of come in, come out, and sometimes they go into other teams. Because you also have the West Coast Avengers, you have the Young Avengers, which are the younger. Yeah, obviously, I think that goes without saying. So I don't know.
Glad you made that. Yeah.
In case you didn't get it from the name,
right?
They're a bit younger than the other guys. Yeah.
It's an ironic. It's an ironic thing.
Ironic, right? Yeah.
Geriatric heroes, retired heroes, and yes,
exactly. But anyway, so I agree. I figure that's not, I don't think, and I think he's already, Kevin Feige's already gone on record as saying that they're not doing an overall story arc, anymore. And the Infinity Gauntlet is like the big one anyway. You know what I mean? It's like,
it would have been, yeah.
Yeah. It's like any other story arc is going to feel smaller in comparison. So I think they may try later on as they bring in the X-Men to do the Apocalypse one, which would actually kind of be kind of cool. But we're probably talking good 5-10 years from now at this point, because I mean the films that they already have set in place go to 2023, which is phase 4. So maybe in phase 5, they decide to do something,
But do you think that, I mean, the Apocalypse one that you just mentioned, does that also have the Majigger, the what do they call it, the piece on every movie that there's the Infinity Stones were? What's that term that gets used in Hollywood?
The
MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin, yeah.
There you go. The MacGuffin.
Is there also no? Yeah, no. He's just yeah. It's really more mutant related. And so he's basically like an ancient mutant, like the first mutant ever. And he is, it's almost like Dracula. You know what I mean? Someone's like, so you have vampires, but only Dracula's most powerful because he is the oldest. You know what I mean? He's like the OG, the original. And so that's kind of the concept a little bit. That's very loose in the sense that, when you think of the mutants, because he exists within the X-Men universe, and it's obviously spilled out into the rest of the Marvel universe, but he is supposed to be the first mutant. It's extremely powerful. And I know you didn't see the X-Men one that actually it's called X-Men Apocalypse, the one that was made by Fox. And you don't need to, for the record. That's not a very good
That's
one.
what I'm worried.
I feel bad because Oscar Isaac is the one who played
oh my God.
Yeah, who I love. He's a great actor, and it's just like, man, that was a low point in your life, brother. But anyway, so it what was I gonna say? Oh, so that could be the thing. I just don't know if they're gonna go that route, and I don't know if they want to. It feels like everything that they have coming is kind of standing on its own, and maybe a few will kind of intertwine. So starting with now, just kind of getting into phase 4, you've actually seen, some of these phase 4 already. Saw Shang-Chi, right? I saw Black Widow. I haven't seen Shang-Chi, but I saw Black Widow. technically part of Phase 4. Not really sure how it's connected. You know what I mean? But
which one? Black Widow?
Black Widow is technically part of Phase 4. I don't know. I'm trying to really think now of what.
No spoilers.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kind of in my head going, what could be? I didn't think any, because it's a prequel. You know what I mean? It's like not that much really there. But Shang-Chi, tell me, you saw it and you know you enjoyed it for what it was, but did you see anything linger, anything that kind of pointed to, okay, there's a possible other?
It must. I mean, I'm thinking like the thing with Shang-Chi is that yes, they try to establish like a semblance of a connection, you know. I'm not gonna say what it is because you know some might find it cool, but like I didn't think it was anything necessarily like wow, like it's obviously not trying to go into like a or into like a subplot that will be developed throughout the movies, or at least it doesn't feel like it's you know going that route. It's more like cementing these characters as they will appear and they will probably assemble at some point, maybe, you know.
Well done.
No, but without but without anything too explicit. Like nothing goes, holy shit, yeah, you know, there is gonna be another Avenger, probably, maybe. It's like, no, man, it's you know, they set up to make a different I don't want to say an extremely different kind of movie because he really isn't. Like, I think one of my gripes with that movie was that, one of my criticisms with it was that it was like, I felt like this story has been told so many times already, you know, especially when it comes to like, you know, Asian movies.
So a little formulaic.
Yeah, exactly. It's just adapting it to, you know, more adapting, more like, appropriating, I would say.
It's not appropriating if you're using Asian folks. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, but I'm saying in the sense of Marvel appropriating it towards them, you know, in the sense of Marvel itself.
I mean,
it is. I'm not joking. But it was entertaining. Again, it just every time we have the infinite source of power or infinite source of craziness like develop on Earth, it's like we forget that there's a fucking universe out there. And this is the main problem that I have with some of these heroes. It's like every hero has their particular anti-hero or mega problem that develops on the same place where they're born. And so if you're gonna have a hero and they gotta face something difficult, it will rarely be of alien nature. It's gonna be something within their culture even, you know, and that's kind of like what brought me a little bit like, I don't know. But yeah, it will be interesting to see this character appear in other movies. And, I do get a very strong feeling that that's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's cool. So it goes so it might lead to something happening that doesn't necessarily have to be an Avengers movie, but it could be Avengers like.
Yeah.
Like Civil War, you know?
Oh, okay. That was a what do you call it?
That was a low Avenger.
Yeah, that was Avengers movies in disguise. I was just like, this is basically Avengers now, you know? So what the hell? It was a very big, and I get it because Civil War is such a big storyline within you know the comics. I was like,
that should have been its own.
It could have, exclusive. It could have been its own thing. But obviously it got tied into, and I enjoyed Civil War for the record for what it was.
Oh yeah, me too.
So yeah, and I think that's my issue as you're describing Shang-Chi, and not that I didn't want to see it because I still want to see it, but I couldn't shake it being another formulaic, you know, Marvel
very V tier,
just Marvel film in general. You know, it's just gonna have your normal 3-act structure. You know, the guy discovers he's this or already knew but forgot. And now
or the portion that is supposed to be a serious moment, but let's throw a joke in there because
because that's Marvel and that's Disney. Yeah. More Marvel. Actually, you can. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's mingled now at this point. They kind of feel the same. But so on with some more Phase 4. Obviously, we saw What If,
I'll be curious which to know what you like about Shang-Chi. I'll be curious to know how you like.
I want to check it out. I definitely want to check it out. It's probably coming to Disney Plus soon too. I think in November.
You should, right? Oh, there you go. So that's next month. Okay, so okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm only mentioning this one because after we've seen them all, we started realizing, there's an overall story here, and that's the What Ifs, which kind of ended up doing its own thing. And I didn't think of it as part of Phase 4, even though technically, when you look at their roadmap, it's in there, it's listed in there. So I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it in there just to say it is. But the next big one, which go ahead.
We can. I feel like we can't just pass What If like that without discussing a little bit, because I feel like of all this movement, this reinvention that Disney's trying to do with the Marvel properties, I feel like this is one that I found the most interesting and most entertaining. Recently. Those are recently, right. Having, and I didn't think I would. Honestly, at first the premise sounded kind of like ridiculous and pointless. Like, why are they gonna waste time doing that? Even though I'm a huge fan of getting alternate fiction in this case. Again, like I like to say, alternate fiction. But it's like there's an established canon, and now we're gonna give you like an alternate version of that canon. That's why I freaking love the Injustice take on Superman. That's why I want to read the comic of Flashpoint of the Flash. I like those off story takes. What If takes it to an extreme? What If just don't give a fuck? And What If goes into they don't have that preciousness for the characters, because the stories are not meant to be like, this is the canonical stories of this characters. The show is called What If, so let's just go nuts. So if we need to kill whoever is crippled, or whoever is it's evil now, or whoever villain is actually a good guy now, like, it doesn't matter, for all intents and purposes. And I love that, because it gave me some surprising moments, some episodes that were that I really wish, like, oh man, this pursuit further would have been a very interesting take. Like, I would not have minded seeing this, or, oh man, that episode ended up dark, and I don't know how I feel about that, because it's not my favorite episode, but I loved it at the same time. We're talking about the Doctor Strange, I know what you're so that I gotta give him credit for going out there and finding a way to take risks without actually taking the risk. It's almost like they created like their own virtual sandbox where they can just have the heroes, like, anything happen to the heroes, like, it doesn't matter. Because again, it's just one of the universe. It's not our universe. It's just I think one of those.
Yeah, and I think it to a certain extent, Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse kind of laid some groundwork for this.
Yes, absolutely.
But so has some of the other, the Loki series. I think WandaVision to maybe a smaller extent. But then this one really kind of said, guys, I think that's going to be a sort of the theme. Maybe not going to be an overall story arc, but definitely the theme is going to be multiverse. That's the theme. I think that they're going to definitely.
That should probably be like their Infinity Stone saga right there. It's like, well, let's talk multiverses now.
Well, that's what I feel like they're going to do, for sure. Yeah.
the problem with going that route, and what's worrisome is if they take that, if they do that, then what comes next? What's bigger than the multiverse? The multiverse is infinity. It's literally do whatever the fuck you want with the characters. You know,
I mean, true, but I guess at that point, when they get, again, further down the road, you have the recently acquired X-Men, which they haven't even made any plans yet for. Mm-hmm. They did mention Fantastic Four, which is also kind of its own set of players with set of villains.
That group has had too many multiverses already.
Yeah,
and all of them should be shut down.
Yeah, for sure. So I was gonna say the next one that's coming, literally within 2-3 weeks, The Eternals, and it has already been listed as Eternals, or somebody mentioned somewhere Eternals Assemble, and I'm like, oh no, don't
Eternals Assemble.
Don't do that, guys.
Yeah, so okay, Marvel. So you are doing DC now. You're doing the DC thing of let's just assemble this group of heroes before you even present who they are or anything like that. The only difference is that, of course, we kind of already knew in DC. We already knew who Batman is. We already knew Wonder Woman, but we didn't know what versions of those characters were in that universe. Because again, multiverse. But over here, what the fuck are you assembling? Like, what is it? Angelina Jolie and who else?
You got Salma Hayek. You got
Salma Hayek, exactly.
A few people in there. I just don't know what their
actors assemble, but
pretty much. I mean, I don't know much about the Eternals. This one's whenever the comics got really cosmic, I was okay. You lost me. I'm not.
You were never a fan of the
and it goes too cosmic like that. But so this is supposed to be the Eternals are, I guess, super beings who were supposed to be watching humanity, and according to this, find themselves having to intervene to protect the Earthlings from the deviants. So that was enough for them to act. But everything happened in Endgame.
Fuck the fact that Thanos, Thanos wiped out the half of the civilization of the entire universe. Like, that wasn't important, but hey, the deviants, holy fuck, we need to intervene now.
I'm saying even Loki kind of addressed that at some point. If I think it was like a throwaway line, somebody goes, well, it was meant to happen. According to the powers that be, I can't remember what the hell the name.
The TVA?
The TVA, yeah, whatever, yeah. According to them, that was meant to happen, so that's why they let it happen.
Loki to me is like an entire multiverse on its own. Like, my mind refuses to merge to think that's gonna be the same realities as the realities where the Infinity Stones are the most powerful, things in the universe, because they were created with creation itself, and suddenly, like, there's a bunch of people using them as paperweights. It's like, no, fuck that. That's you're just being stupid for being on TV. You already did the wackaloo thing with WandaVision, and it worked with that because, of course, there were it was the first and it was moderated. And it was extremely nice, but I don't know, Loki. I don't think we're working out here. I don't think we should see each other anymore.
I have a feeling that the Eternals, this is just my own thought. I don't know. I've seen some of the trailers, and I just feel like it's crazy because it is being directed by Chloe Zhao, which is a really good director, but she's good at doing those really well done, indie flicks, dramatic films. And she's being given the reins for the Eternals. I'm just like, that's odd. I would never have seen that coming. It had me interested, but I just don't know, right? I mean, just because you can make I guess, I don't know. That's what I was like. I have a feeling the Eternals is not going to knock anybody's socks off, and I think they know it too. When you just look and go, well, there's not even a mention of an Eternal after this. You know what I mean? I was like, why? I feel like this is that, again, one weird one-off film that who knows if it's going to be connected to anything. But anyway, from there, you do have in December, Spider-Man No Way Home. which we've seen the trailer. I think it was one of our trailers of the week, and we know, or at least I suspect pretty well, is that we're definitely going to see some multiverse action going on in this one, with Alfred Molina obviously showing off as Dr. Octopus, and what we know is that Jamie Foxx is in it, and he was in The Amazing Spider-Man, so he's supposed to be reprising his role. So I don't know about this one either. I feel like it can either be really good or just really confusing. You know what I mean?
I feel like this could be, it almost feels like a symbolic hand, like a symbolic hand back to Sony. Spider-Man back to Sony kind of thing. It's like, okay, it served our purpose. Here you go. Go nuts. And this is because we're not gonna make another Spider-Man something from home, anymore.
Yeah. I think this definitely wraps up that particular trilogy. Obviously, every one of them has a home in it.
It probably should also.
I think so too. I mean, he's still young, the Spider-Man, but I feel like I think we've seen enough of him. Just looking at his films, two of his films, it's kind of a lot of the same. And looking at this trailer, obviously there's a lot more cosmic things happening with the multiverse, so what's going on, but it's still the same thing.
I just like seeing Doctor Strange getting like a lot more play. Like, where's fucking Doctor Strange 2? It hasn't happened yet.
It's in phase 4. I'm getting to it. I'll get to it when I. So real quick, I just want to throw in here. They also mentioned Hawkeye and Miss Marvel, which will be 2 series for Disney Plus.
Wait, Hawkeye?
Jeremy Renner? Hawkeye?
No. But with Miss Marvel, I'm trying to. Are you talking about 2 separate series?
Yes, 2 separate series.
Oh, okay.
Hawkeye is one. Hawkeye, a separate series.
It kind of fucked my mind there for a second. I was like,
my bad.
What's it called? A Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No.
Captain Marvel. It's like,
WandaVision. No. Okay, yeah, I guess what you're saying. Yeah. No, this is Hawkeye, and he's going to be meeting a protege of his, Kate Bishop, who is played by Haley Steinfeld, which is a good young actress. So that's its own thing. And then Miss Marvel will star a much more a newer hero. Her name is Kamala Khan, which I believe is the first or one of either the first. I think it's the first, or at least one of the first Middle Eastern heroes.
Isn't Kamala Khan the same Kamala from the Avengers game?
Yeah, same one. Yeah, Miss Marvel. That's her name.
That's her.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah, she has she's basically like Plastic Man, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's her. And anyway, that's also gonna be a series supposed to be coming out this year, or sometime towards the end of this year. And then we do have the one that kicks off in 2022, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So already we know.
That sounds like an oxymoron right there.
Already we know that things are getting messed up with the multiverse in Spider-Man, and so it looks like that'll spill over into this particular film. It will also have Elizabeth Olsen, which is a Scarlet Witch. We know she's going to be in that as well. And if you saw the end of WandaVision, you kind of know where she's at, basically, and things. Rachel McAdams will come back as a Dr. Palmer, who he was in love with. So anyway, that one I don't think we've seen anything yet of it, but we should be seeing something soon. That's probably the one I'm most excited about because we haven't seen Doctor Strange, and I feel like Doctor Strange is one of the most powerful characters.
Yes,
and
exactly my point.
I feel like he's just in his, sanctorium, just chilling all the time, never helping anybody out, just not pretending, but just learning new spells or something. I don't know what he's doing half the time,
He's super stunning. I've always liked that character, and I've always felt like he has been underutilized, and it seems, it feels like one of the reasons we're excited about seeing him again.
It's because we haven't got a lot of him.
Well, also the fact that he is like, I want to call it one of the original Marvel Cinematic Universe cast members. So it's almost like like a pillar. You know, you're not just coming up with some new hero that we're supposed to now love or whatever. You know, this one was a veteran of the Infinity War. You know,
you think about it. You only saw him in Infinity War. I mean, excuse me, in his movie, and then you saw him in Infinity War, and that was it. You didn't see him again until he's the one who basically portaled everybody to the battlefield in Endgame. And but that was
another movie, like a cameo, like a quick cameo in another movie, real quick.
No, Thor.
Yeah, and Thor. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, he had a quick cameo in Thor. You're right. He did have it there at that point too. But again, where is he? He's in Sanctorium just doing nothing. He brings people to him. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just bring people to me. Anyway, speaking of Thor, Love and Thunder is the one that's coming after that. And honestly, bro, I don't even know what to expect anymore when it comes to a Thor film. I'm like, I have no clue. This one is Taika Waititi. He's back. He's the one who directed the last one. So that's promising. Tessa Thompson is back as Valkyrie. Natalie Portman is actually back as Jane Foster, even though there was a fallout. Apparently, you should also be expecting Chris Pratt to be in this as well.
Really?
Yeah. So obviously playing Star-Lord. And then, so I don't know. I don't even know what the story is. You know, I mean? No clue what's going to happen. I understand Love and Thunder is a particular storyline within the Thor comics. But again, not big Thor guy here, so I don't know. But we'll see. According to,
could be exciting, could be interesting.
Yeah. According to Chris Helmsburg himself, promises that it'll be batshit crazy, off the wall funny, and might also pull a heartstring or two. So whatever that means. You know?
All right.
Yeah.
For Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
That's another one that, like, I've never been a huge fan of Thor or whatever, but it's cool. It's cool to see more of the old cast. I want to call it the old cast. That was another one that, oh my God, I was just thinking, I was going to ask you, before you continue, do we see, regardless of if there's a plan, if you know there's a plan of it or you don't know, but do you think that we will see a Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
There is, there's a plan for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a plan for that. I don't know what it's called. I thought it was going to be the Asgardians of the Galaxy, because that's kind of where it was kind of leading with Thor kind of going with them. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I guess we'll have
I got a feeling that we will find out with Love and Thunder.
So anyway, moving on to the next ones here. We have Wakanda Forever, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This one is a huge question mark because I don't even know how.
What are they doing here? Yes.
They're not recasting Boseman. They're not doing some sort of digitalized whatever. Michael B. Jordan is on record saying, "No, I'm not coming back. Killmonger's dead." You know what I mean?
Killmonger's dead. Oh yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what they're doing. No clue what the story is.
Multiverse, they can bring him back, and now he's good. And no, nothing. Okay.
I mean, possibly, but then that would be. I feel like that would be really not good.
That is completely random. Yeah, exactly. Also not good.
So we'll see about that one. I'm still interested. The same director and writer, Ryan Coogler. So and the production team apparently is for the most part the same as well. So that spells good. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see what they do with that one. The Marvels, which is Captain Marvel, coming back. After watching the first Captain Marvel, don't really care about this one. Not that it can't be good, you know what I mean? But the first one wasn't really good. So the first one wasn't good, and it felt pointless, and it retroactively made things worse in some ways. You know, it's just like I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
It was like, shit, we forgot about Captain Marvel. What do we do now? Let's just shit at the last moment because we got Endgame like finishing like right, or not Endgame, but the other one, finishing Infinity War like right around the corner. We better make something quick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's make it low budget so that's what we justify. We'll go into the 80s and blockbuster and
that's right.
Feminism.
I think it was
there we
90s.
go.
I think it was 90s. But yeah. Yeah, it was 90s because the No Doubt song was
that's true. Yeah.
So yeah.
Because all the fucking songs.
Yeah. I do want to mention that Monica Rambeau, right? The newer hero from WandaVision, was I don't know if she was FBI or something. I don't know. She will be in this film as well, replaying Monica Rambeau, obviously the actress who plays Monica Rambeau. Anyway, moving on. A couple things we don't know about. There is a Blade coming soon. Don't know if that's part of the Phase 4, but it will star Mahershala Ali as Blade, which I'm fine with because he's an excellent actor. But who knows if that's connected in any way. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania is set for 2023.
That's a hero that we can. I could do without. No offense to Paul Rudd, but I'm done with Ant-Man. I'm so done with Ant-Man. I'm sorry. None of those movies are good. All right, I said it there. I apologize. But I had to get it off my chest.
No problem. Fun fact though, the spoilers here for Loki. The final villain, Kang the Conqueror, it will be in this film. So obviously, that's where the connection comes in as far as why they're even there, and who knows
what. Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah. Because okay, so Kang the Conqueror, another Earth superpowered beam. Okay.
Well, I don't know if he was superpowered because they killed him. Remember, and they killed a version of him. The one who just spoke forever in the last episode. Again, spoilers for Loki. Anyway, so his bad version is what he was warning about. That's the version that we would be getting. And he's played by the same guy, Jonathan Majors. So we'll see. We shall see. Then of course, Fantastic Four. No date. They just showed like a something about it. We know that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is possibly set to continue in a series. We don't know. We do know that Captain America 4 is set to happen in the theater. We already know who Cap is, so we know that's happening.
That's right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So, She-Hulk is coming to Disney Plus. Moon Knight. I don't even know if that's what the heck that is. Secret Invasion. This is all Disney Plus shit here, so I'm just gonna forward on because a lot of this stuff is not the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. How awesome!
Yay! Are they gonna be like Christmas Ewoks on it also?
Probably. And then here we go. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. No date, but it has the year 2023. And so
something to look forward to.
I look at this and I still say, just looking at all Phase 4, Spider-Man I do want to see because I kind of want to see how they're going to tie all this up. And I'm curious about that. And it also has Doctor Strange. But on top of that, Doctor Strange. And that's literally the next couple that I'm seeing here. And from there, I don't know, bro. There's a lot of question marks after that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of question marks. The Marvels, I'm not excited about. Wakanda Forever, I'm curious, but I don't know what they're going to do. Thor: Love and Thunder. It's just, this is what I'm trying to say. Is the whole point is like I feel like we're gonna get a lot of just not filler, but just continuations of something that has already, peaked. Yeah. And so I feel like what we're going to get now is really just diminishing returns. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that Marvel already jumped the shark?
Yes. They had their jump. No, because the jump the shark moment is when things were considered to be bad, right? That's a
happy days, like it should have wrapped up already. Like it didn't need to continue.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's I feel like that's what Phase 4 looks like, at least. Yeah. Phase 5 may be this amazing X-Men reveal with, we're gonna the ultimate bad guy Apocalypse.
They gotta know that that's what, and if you think about it, it might be smart to keep it this way, right? Because they're not rushing into anything. They want to make sure that they, I mean, and I'm speculating, probably giving them too much credit, but I'm gonna like to imagine that I live in the world where Disney is actually carefully crafting that amazing Phase 5 where it's gonna get, there's already been an establishment of the multiverse, and how that is going to open the door to many interesting possibilities on Phase 5 of bringing the mutants, and how cool would that be?
I mean, we have a couple of villains you have Apocalypse, which technically does exist, but again, that's under Fox. And when you look at Fantastic Four, you have Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is that dude is like real. He's one of the most powerful villains. And obviously, none of the films have ever used him. I think he was in two of the Fantastic Fours, and the Fantastic Four movies were not good. Let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like at what point do you get to the ultimate power? Like, who is the most powerful being? It's still God.
Well, I mean, yes, that's obviously the answer to that question. But you also think, as you eliminate someone, someone's always going to take their. So, Thanos is dead. Spoilers. Thanos is dead. You know what I mean? So, obviously, does that mean we have infinite peace? No, there's gonna be somebody else that comes out that will also, and in their own different way, pose a threat. So
also have like amazing universe destroying powers.
No.
Where's Galactus on this?
Yeah. Galactus is an eater of planets, my friend. So I don't know. That would be way too fucking way too cosmic for me.
Phase 17.
I mean, that is just way too
Phase 18, probably.
Yeah.
Our ancestors or our future. Our future generations might see that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The other thing is, how do we know they all exist at the same time? I mean, the Eternals obviously existed. They are eternal. They were there for the beginning of the time, right? So, but there's
the TVA.
Exactly. Well,
it's like, who do we trust here? It's like, who is the ultimate power control? I guess
that's the thing. I
think
they're ultimate. Right. There's just alternatives,
or everybody thinks they're their ultimate.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's the other thing, is that everybody who knew about the Infinity Stones knew that was the ultimate power.
I'm the more powerful version of the. No, I am, dude. Bitch, I have the Infinity Stones. Bitch, we use Infinity Stones on paperweight. Come on.
Yeah.
Sit down. Exactly. It's like that's the war.
I mean, think about the Shang-Chi. I haven't watched Shang-Chi, so I'm just throwing this out there. But sure, he has the 10 rings and he's pretty powerful with his stuff. But will he survive a fight with Thanos? I'm going to go with probably no. You know what I mean? Just Thanos with a gauntlet, even less. You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
So yeah,
I mean, it took all the Avengers too. So
that's exactly. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's the ultimate big bad guy. If we bring in Apocalypse, I think Apocalypse will be the only other one that can possibly be, but he's not. The abilities that Apocalypse has, he can wreck havoc to the planet. You know what I mean? But is he going to be able to do exactly what Thanos did with the Gauntlet? Kill half of humanity? Is he going to be able to turn back time or whatever? No, that's not part of what he does. But that doesn't mean he's not a problem. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's not the ultimate problem. But since we've already eliminated the last ultimate problem, now he's the ultimate problem. You know what I mean? So
here's how we solve this. Let's make a fighting game where we just dump in all the mega villains of it, and here comes Galactus jumping on planets, and then Thanos comes in and snaps fingers and rewinds time, and suddenly the planets go back, and it's just a mega hyper battle, Capcom versus Tatsunoko levels of crazy.
I mean,
how about that?
That's what those. I don't know if you ever collected Marvel cards. I did for a little bit of time when I was younger. But that was a cool thing about that, because when you had them all, you can now look at them and go, okay, based on the information we know of this person, based on the information of this person, who would win? What do you think? And that's the thing that we don't know. We don't know how to quantify strength within the MCU. We were able to do it within Marvel because we had those cards, or we had some sort of source that we can. I'm sure that's all online now. But that doesn't mean that transfers over to the MCU. You know what I mean? So we don't know that level. And I think that's the question mark that we always keep bringing up. Can Doctor Doom at his worst, based on his comic character, be as powerful as, say, Apocalypse from the movie? No idea. I'm looking at the X-Men Apocalypse one with Oscar Isaac playing as Apocalypse versus Doctor Doom in the comics. The Apocalypse would lose. It's like, this guy was not that whatever, even though technically, if I go Doctor Doom and Apocalypse in both of them in the comics, it would probably sway the other way. It's just hard to tell. It's hard to tell who would be the ultimate bad guy. And then the question is, where were all these things? Again, they introduced Apocalypse. Well, where was he doing the blip? Was he blipped out? Do we know? You know what I mean?
Exactly. They're part of it. Yes.
Everything after the blip suddenly goes, where were you doing the blip? What the hell were you doing? In this time, did you get blipped out? Because then you've lost 5 years of your life. And it's, I don't know. But anyway,
it's confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. But I just feel like I'm still curious. I'll still be watching these until they really just start getting bad. I mean, not that they will, but if they start to, then I'm just might be skipping a few. But overall, I just feel like I feel like Marvel and Disney understand what they had with the ultimate, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline that ended with Endgame, and they obviously want to continue to have people come to watch these films, and I just don't know if they have enough left to do that. So, and I feel like, again, as time passes, there's going to be diminishing returns on these, and we're probably going to go back. We're almost going backwards, right? If you look at the critical reception and the money, that was received for the films, going back to the first Iron Man, it culminated all the way to the top where now freaking Endgame was a $2-3 billion revenue movie, but now I feel like we're just going to be going backwards again. We're not going to see first, because movies are a little bit difficult now going to theater, but at the same time, I just feel like it's still just going to go a little fading away, because nothing I see or nothing we've seen appears to be like, oh, I gotta go see that, and that's a shame.
It certainly feels that way, and I feel it's almost unfair to admit it, but a lot of people were very interested in every movie on the first 3 phases, I guess, because they were wanting to see what part of the movie was relating to the overarching story of the Infinity Stone saga. Yeah. Like, I feel like even if there was a movie like Ant-Man, you couldn't just skip it, because to skip it would feel, even if it had nothing to do with it, it will feel like you're missing a portion of that overarching story, and that's, reason why we ended up having, ended up going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I mean, that was not the reason we ended up going to watch it, but when we came out of it, it was like, well, this didn't need to exist.
Yeah. But we still watched it. I mean,
but I think we were more disappointed. It was not a great movie, granted, but also we were also disappointed we were qualifying the need for it to exist based on, well, this is not giving me anything about the story of the Infinity Stone saga. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if this movie is not having this background, this backbone story. We should actually just take them for what they are, which is just like individual pieces of entertainment, for stories for heroes that normally, under normal circumstances, we wouldn't have gotten those heroes, because, like, who gives a shit about the Eternals? Like, I literally learned about the Eternals the first time it was announced. Before that, I have never heard of its existence.
Yeah, you did. It was he was probably, again, a quick one-off thing, but Star-Lord's father, real father, was an Eternal. He mentions it in the film too. So.
Oh, okay, but not in the context, because I'm seeing all these people on Earth.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, this is another Earth, this is another super powerful magical being, cosmic beings from the planet Earth. It just feels like
they're not from the planet Earth. They were sent to the planet Earth. But I hear you.
Of all the planets,
why planet Earth? Yeah. So does that mean there's a team of Eternals on every planet in the galaxy? I mean, is that
there better be, because I want to make I can only suspend my disbelief so much before I start seeing like the seams breaking. It's like,
no, I know.
Oh no, I would rather. You know what? I would rather have. That's ridiculous. Just do a remake of Hulk. I'll take a remake of Hulk.
I would too. I did enjoy the Hulk. I didn't
hate it. But
it's an underappreciated film. It's not great.
Yeah,
but it's
it's not great.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
It's definitely better than Ant-Man. And
okay.
No, I know. I'm a strong 100% believer.
The second Ant-Man and the Wasp, I would probably agree with. The first Ant-Man, no, I still enjoy the first Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man.
Okay, fine. I'll give it to you.
As a standalone films. Ant-Man and the Wasp, again. Only main thing that really linked everything up was the end, because
the literal, and not even the end, but the after credits.
Exactly. That if you miss, you'd be like, I don't even know why that was even made.
If you left at the credits, then there was no,
and you wouldn't know what the hell was happening in the other one.
Exactly. It's kind of like, holy shit, you bury like a vital piece, that was needed. This is not like a teaser or a thing. It's a requirement. If you miss that stinger at the end of Ant-Man the Wasp, the next the Infinity the Endgame. No, not Infinity War. The Endgame will make no sense. Like literally, it will make it's the piece of the puzzle the piece of the Jenga that is holding the whole structure together, and without it, it's just gotta crumble down. Because you're not gonna understand, like, what the hell was he doing on the quantum universe?
Why was he there? Yeah.
Why was he there? You're like, what?
You know what? Then you'd be crying plot hole. Oh, plot hole.
Exactly. Plot hole. My whole Jenga tower fell.
Yeah. Plot hole. Makes no sense. We don't know why he was there. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, sir, any final thoughts?
A suggestion I will give everybody is just, let's watch these movies for what they are, just individual pieces, and judge them for that. let's not expect them to give us any overarching portion. Because yes, it was cool. It was cool to have that, but they did that. Guess what? They can't redo that same thing again. It wouldn't be prudent. It wouldn't be.
No, I agree.
So let them be what they are, and we can just leave it at that.
I agree. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome episode of the Mouthful Podcast. As always, if you haven't, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week, saying, what a week. Feels like 2 weeks.
I got a feeling I'm gonna take us home. I got a feeling that it's gonna take me a while to put this one together. Don't be surprised if it comes up late.
Yeah.
Out of schedule.
I agree. Things happen, guys. Things happen.
It won't be on purpose. I promise.
All right,
and if I didn't read it enough, fuck Windows 11 again.
There you go. That explains it all. That's the missing piece. That if you already tuned off to the show, you have no idea what's going on. Oh my god!
Goodbye from the future.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. GG!